Baptist University at Shawnee for this afternoon's final game of a week-long 5-game homestand. This afternoon it is the 6-7 Bison of Oklahoma Baptist and the 5-10 Hornets of Emporia State. Hello again, everybody, and good afternoon. I'm Todd Miller along with our Bison Sports Network crew, welcoming you to Bison Hill for this afternoon's matinee between ESU and Oklahoma Baptist University. These two teams have played once. They'll play later in April up in Kansas in the season opener at the Emporia, or at the Edmond First Pitch Classic. Emporia won 17-9. They registered 12 hits and were aided by a couple of errors by Oklahoma Baptist. Bison will tow a lot of pitchers to the mound this afternoon. They may use as many as 8. Nolan Fiesel, who pitched an inning of relief in the loss here on Sunday afternoon to Harding, will get the start today, and he will be opposed by Cade Barton, who's 0-3 with an earned run average of 10.66. You see there on your screen the head coaches, Chris Cox in his 4th season at Oklahoma Baptist and Seth Wheeler in his 5th season at Emporia, meeting with a 3-man umpiring crew this afternoon, going over the ground rules, exchanging lineups before this afternoon's first pitch. We'll step away momentarily. When we return, we'll have our pregame interview, this time with associate head coach and pitching coach Cody Painter. That's coming up next here on the Bison Sports Network. An opportunity to go out and see a lot of different arms that you don't always get to see during conference play.
Yeah, we're excited. There's a lot of guys on the staff that, need to get work in and get in a rhythm as we get into the middle of conference play here. And so, like you said, this is a great opportunity for them to go get their feet wet, and build on the things that, the failures that they've had, but build on the success that they've had too. And we just got to be a little more consistent. And like I said, this is a great opportunity to do that.
Last weekend, how'd you assess your pitching staff? I thought they rebounded well from Arkansas Tech. 4 games, 4 good competitions last week, and they threw to an ERA of less than 3.5.
Yeah, they did. Like you said, it started on Tuesday against a really good offensive Pitt State club, and set the tone there. And then, like I said, went into Harding, and Harding had a lot of, good offensive numbers up and down the lineup, and they handled it, changed speeds in the zone really well. You 2 guys that had been your best 2 pin guys to this point in the season, had their first bad outings there in game 3, but we'll learn from those. But like I said, as a whole, we had a really good week as a staff.
You kind of learned, too, that you got a deeper bullpen this year as opposed to years past. So maybe if a guy goes out, has a good inning, you get him out after that inning, not try to stretch him to 2.
Yeah, we feel like we have the luxury to do that now compared to years past where, like I said, we've been thin, whether that be injuries or whatever it may be. And we have the opportunity to match up a little bit more than we have. And so, we're trying to figure that out as we go, and we think we're getting a thumb on who needs to be in what situations and set them up for the best chance to have success.
What do you attribute, Cody, to the quick turnaround from the Ark Tech series to Harding? I mean, Harding's a good offensive club too.
Yeah, I think, obviously you get beat like that and have those games, it lights a fire under your rear a little bit, and Galbraith goes out in game 1 and does a great job, had a couple unfortunate runs scored on him. He did a good job, and really, Kellogg Clark had a good outing. Fiesel did good out of the pen. You had a lot of bright moments. You just had 2 or 3, and so like I said, it's just getting everybody to where we're more consistent on the mound and just, getting rid of those weak links, and like I said, figuring out what we need to do, what adjustments need to be made. And we went into a week of practice in the midweek game against Pitt State with, goals and focus on our mind of what needed to, fine up and get better.
Pitch clock, has that affected you guys at all? The rhythm, the up tempo now of baseball, is that something that's taking a little bit of getting used to?
Yeah, we practiced it right when we got back, in January. We started, as soon as our first air squad, we started to implement that, and I think it's affected us for the better. I think it's good, and you're watching it in the spring training games in the big leagues. I think it's going to have a real positive impact on the pitching side of it. We've had certain guys in the past here that have struggled with rhythm and tempo, and it forces you into a rhythm and forces you into a good tempo. It keeps the defense engaged and on their toes, not getting back on the heels and uninterested, and so I think it's good for everybody.
Game plan for today, I think it's probably a pitching staff day, isn't it?
No doubt. You got winds going out a little bit, but regardless of what the wind's doing or who's in the box against you, you got to go make pitches. And like I said, it's going to be a whole staff day. You're going to roll out 6, 7, 8 arms, and guys that are looking to get the opportunity to get back into that weekend mix. And so jobs are up for grabs, and we'll see who can take advantage of it.
I've always said I think conference play starts entirely too early because your starting staff sometimes in February may be vastly different in late April and when conference tournament play starts. Do you agree with that? And do you see with this depth some mixing and matching going forward?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's definitely a challenge, but hey, there's other like Lone Star Conference. Opening day, you're playing a conference game, and so like I said, we feel like we're getting closer and closer every day to figuring out who are going to be the guys that can be trusted and counted on down the stretch, especially as the schedule continues to get tougher and tougher. And so we're confident that we're going to put our tab and our finger on who's going to be dogs for us down the stretch.
You're using that new pitch technology this year in terms of the way you signal pitches and locations in. How's that working?
Good. It's called Armill Attack, and it's been really good. Like I said, with the 20-second action clock, you got to get your signs in quickly and be super efficient. And so that allows us to do that. And like I said, we can get all that stuff in, not only the pitches, first and thirds, bunt defenses, pickoffs, all that stuff in within 2-3 seconds.
OBU pitching coach Cody Pato, our guest here with the pregame show. OBU will use up to 8 arms here in today's non-conference midweek game against Emporia State. Already this year, the deep bullpen for the Bison had been on display. 11 different players have made a trip to the mound in the first 13 games of the regular season for Oklahoma Baptist. Bison pitchers pitching to a 283 batting average, and they have been another high-volume strikeout team with 110 strikeouts through 13 games. Their walk total a little bit high, though, with 49. That's something that will continue to come down, one would think. They've given up 10 home runs on the season. That's a number that must come down. And, again, they have struck out 110 in 201 and 1/3 innings. Both of these two teams coming in on very different planes. Oklahoma Baptist is 3-1 in this 5-game homestand, which ends this afternoon. Emporia State won 2 of 3 in the Edmond First Pitch Classic, including a 17-9 victory over Oklahoma Baptist. They beat Southwestern 7-4. They lost to Northern State of North Dakota, and since that time they have really scuffled. In fact, in their last 12 games, Seth Wheeler's ball club is just 3-9. This year against the Great American Conference, Emporia State is 2-1. They still have games in Emporia remaining against the Bison, Northwestern, and Southwestern. In addition to winning 2 games at Edmond against OBU and SWASU, Emporia State lost 6-3 a couple of weeks ago in a midweek game up in Alvin. Speaking of Alvin, Northwestern, that will be the next stop for Bison baseball. Friday night, Saturday afternoon for the Bison and the Rangers in the 3rd conference series of the year and the 2nd true road series for OBU in league play. Starters are being introduced. We'll step aside, be back with a look at today's starting lineups, and we'll throw the first pitch. Cade Barton on the mound for Emporia. Nolan Fiesel will make a 1-inning start today for OBU. It's the Bison and Hornets coming up next from Shawnee on the Bison Sports Network.
From Shawnee, Oklahoma, number 20, Cade Sell. Batting 6.
Spending life wisely means taking small steps towards a life of love and impact. And we're here to inspire and empower you along the way. Spend life wisely. First United Bank.
Okay, guys, we gotta make this quick. I got a 7 o'clock curtain call at the opera.
You know you could just order online.
No. A gentleman always does things the old-fashioned way.
All right, well, I just put your order in, so.
Well, it didn't tell you what I ordered.
I got you an ultimate patty melt with a side of loaded fries and a Dr. Pepper.
That is what I ordered. Yeah. We spend way too much time together.
Now you can order your food and fried pies online at boomerangdiner.com.
Our national anthem here from Bobby Cox Field in Ford Park of the campus of Oklahoma Baptist University in Shawnee on a sun-splashed Tuesday afternoon, 76 degrees as we wait the first pitch coming from Noah Fiesel today, Oklahoma Baptist and Emporia State. Here's a look at the batting lineup for the Hornets. They are 5-10, just 3-9 of their last 12 games after a 2-1 start, including that victory over OBU. Leading off for ESU in right field, Caden Williams. Batting second, their DH, Jake Bukovetsky. Hitting third for Emporia State at third base, Palmer Hutchison. Their cleanup hitter is the starting catcher, TJ Rockerbomber. Batting fifth in left field is Quentin Carlberg. Hitting sixth at shortstop, Andrew Rantz. Batting seventh at second base, Case Johnson. Hitting eighth at first base is Chandler Bloomer. And batting ninth in center field is Brendan Tauber. One more time, it's Williams at right, Bukovetsky the DH, and Hutchison at third. Rockerbomber catching, Carlberg in left, Rantz at short, Johnson at second, Bloomer at first, and Tauber in center field. Defensively, Oklahoma Baptist to the home white and green today with the green and white caps will line up behind Noah Fiesel with Dan Pruitt at first, Jaden Schaefer at second base. Jose Parca is the shortstop and Trey Furry is at third. It's Gutierrez, Lasad, and Cade Self from left to right over the outfield with Troy Shields catching behind the plate for Noah Fiesel. Alex Schroeder is pencils into the lineup. He will DH for OBU. Bukovetsky is the leading hitter by average in Emporia State's lineup, hitting .291. Their leading RBI and home run producer is Rantz. He is 4 home runs of the year, that he also has driven in 10 RBIs. So here we go, ready for the first pitch. It'll be a left-handed hitting right fielder, Caden Williams, to lead off. Williams is a sophomore, a hometown product from Emporia State. Williams comes into the ball game hitting .211. This is his 12th start. First pitch, bouncing ball up the middle near the bag at second. Parker boots it, and it'll be a leadoff base runner for Caden Williams. That was about as tailor-made of a play to start the ball game as you'll ever get. High bouncer right back up the middle, and Parker was right there, but it hit the heel of his glove, and then he fumbled it. So OBU commits the error. They have been fairly clean during this 3-1 homestand defensively. Here is Jake Bukovetsky. He is their leading hitter at .291. He has played and started now in all 16 games, and he takes low, 1 ball, no strikes. Nolan Fiesel pitched last Sunday afternoon against Harding here. 1 inning, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, and a strikeout. Fiesel works from the stretch, holds the runner close. And now he throws that way, and diving back in is Caden Williams. Williams has 3 stolen bases. He's 3 for 3. Bukovetsky, who is now at the plate as their leading base stealer, he is 5 for 7. Fiesel comes set, now fires it home, and the pitch swatted straight back and out of play. And the count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike. So a couple of left-handers to start the lineup today for Emporia State. OBU pitching to a .235 batted average against left-handers. The starter, Nolan Fiesel, has allowed 4 hits in 13 at-bats against lefties this year. 1 on, 1 out, hard hit ground ball to second. Schaefer goes to an eat, goes to Parker for 1, throw to first, pulls Pruitt off of the bag. So it'll be a 4-6 fielder's choice. They do get the lead out. And now with 1 on and 1 out, up comes third baseman Palmer Hutchison.
Now batting with 12, Palmer Hutchinson.
Palmer Hutchison hitting .208. He has played in all 16 Emporia games, making his 15th start. He has 10 hits, 1 of those a double, 3 home runs, and 6 driven in. In comes the pitch, and a breaking ball for a strike, and Fiesel jumps ahead, 0-1 the count. OBU's earned run average is 6.16, but they have pitched well during this now 5-game homestand. They were really pounded a week ago in Russellville in the league opening series. Fiesel throws to first, and back in is Bukovetsky, and yet he is a threat to run. He's 5 for 7. Hornets already this season have attempted 31 stolen bases, and they have been successful 22 times. So a challenge today for OBU pitchers and catcher Troy Shields. Again, the throw over to first. No tag. Bukovetsky back in. Palmer Hutchison in the first meeting went 0 for 4, drew a couple of walks, and struck out. He also left 2 runners aboard. Emporia State stranded 7 of that victory. Checks his swing, slider away, and it's called a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. For Nolan Fiesel, this is his 6th appearance, his 2nd start. His record is 1-0. Fiesel with an earned run average of 4.38. Bukovetsky stretching the lead, and a swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fiesel and Will Duncan have been really good out of the bullpen here in the first month of the season for OBU. They were not particularly good on Sunday afternoon when OBU coughed up a 5-1 lead in the late innings against Harding. Bisons won that game 7-5, another throw over to first. Harding going back to Searcy, managing 1 out of 3 here at Bobby Cox Field. OBU's pitching staff allowing a .283 batted average against. Emporia State really scuffling offensively here early. Breaking ball popped up in foul territory, first base side. Pruitt near the coach's box is underneath it, and that's out number 2. So here is TJ Rockerbaumer. Racherbaumer, but pronounced Rockerbaumer. Rockerbaumer comes into the ball game hitting a modest .216. Left-handed hitter. Fiesel trying to work around a leadoff error here with the first in the pitch. Lined into center field. That's down for a base hit. Lasad was playing deep. He'll play to the hop. And Emporia has their first hit. So Quentin Carlberg, the left fielder, will have a chance.
Now batting 15, Quentin Carlberg.
Carlberg is in for the 15th time. He hits .222. Emporia State has really scuffled. That's the reason they're just 3-9 of their last 12. They're collectively hitting .213. And on the season, they've been outscored 93-69. Schaefer shades towards second, and comes Fiesel's pitch. Carlberg makes it 2-0, Emporia State. And for the Hornets, that is their 20th home run of the year. Carlberg with his 4th, and runs batted in number 7 and 8. There is the wind pushing out towards that part of the ballpark, but Carlberg didn't need any help. He put a real charge into that Fiesel offering, and it's 2-0 Emporia.
Now batting number 33, Andrew Rance.
Correction, that was a 3-run homer, so it's 3-0. And here is Andrew Rance. Big swing, no contact for the former Kansas State Wildcat, played for Pete Hughes in Manhattan last year. Andrew Rance, off to a slow start in 15 games at the Division II level, hitting .207. Pops that one up. Is it playable? First base side. Dan Pruitt giving chase and watches it go out of play, so it's no balls, 2 strikes. So Carlberg moves into a tie for the team lead with 4 home runs. His 3 RBIs now have him at 9, and that's the lead for the Hornets. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. In the dirt, blocked by Shields. He'll pick it up, throw it to first. And the inning is over, and Fiesel slams his glove on his right thigh as he walks off to the dugout. 3 runs, there were 2 hits, 1 error, nobody left after a half inning in Shawnee. Emporia State 3, Oklahoma Baptist coming up on the Bison Sports Network.
OBU fans, do you want the chance to support OBU student athletes from the convenience of your own mobile device? Text hashtag BAA at OBU to the number 52014 to support BAA student athletes. Donations are fully tax deductible, and every gift makes a difference in the OBU student athlete's life. Again, text hashtag BAA at OBU to the number 52014. For more information, log on to obubison.com.
Not the start Oklahoma Baptist was hoping for this afternoon here on Bison Hill. 3-0 with a 2-out, 3-run bomb by Quentin Carlberg. Now let's see what offense OBU could generate against right-hander Cade Barton, who is making his 5th appearance, 4th start. He's 0-3 at earned run average of 10.66. Bison lineup leading off at center field, Isaiah Lassad, hitting second at second base, Jaden Schaefer. Batting third at first, Dan Pruitt. The cleanup hitter is the DH, Alex Schroeder. Batting fifth in right field, Cade Self. Batting sixth at third, Trey Furry. Hitting seventh and catching, Troy Shields. Batting eighth in left field, Rafael Gutierrez, and hitting ninth for the Bison, it's shortstop, Jose Parga. Again, it is Lassad in center, Schaefer at second, Pruitt at first, Schroeder the DH, Self in right, Furry at third, Shields the catcher, Gutierrez in left, Parga at shortstop. There's a good look at Emporia State starting right-hander Cade Barton. Barton's numbers in 4 previous appearances, 12 and 2/3 innings, 21 hits, 17 runs, 15 earned with 13 strikeouts and 8 walks. Not only has he given up a ton of runs in over 12 innings of work, thus the 10.66 earned run average, but he also has given up a lot of hits. 21 over that time and a batting average against a 3.62. Cade Barton is basically a 2-pitch pitcher, fastball slider. He will occasionally mix it up with a changeup or a curveball. He is primarily a pitch-to-contact hitter. Righty versus righty, and the first pitch to Lassad is downstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. Isaiah, a junior from Elk Grove, Oklahoma, or California, played at Folsom Lake College. Pitch in there for a strike, and it's 1-1. 240 pitches thrown thus far by Cade Barton. 216 of those have been either a slider or a fastball. Called strike at the knees, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. He's only gone to the curveball 15 times, and has only thrown 9 changeups this season. So he is primarily a 2-pitch pitcher. That one a slider away, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hornets on the road this season are 1-3. They're off to a good start in this one. A bouncing ball pulled to the left side, diving. No, it gets underneath the third baseman's glove to Rance, and Rance throws to first, and that'll be an infield hit for Isaiah Lassad. The third baseman, Hutchison, tried to dive, and it looked like he initially had it, but the ball scooted right under his glove to Rance, and who has a big-time arm at short. Almost was able to get Lassad from the hole. So here come the Bison with the leadoff hitter for Jaden Schaefer. Jaden, a left-hander against Cade Barton. In comes Barton's pitch, and it's downstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. By pitching to contact, I mean that 104 of his 240 pitches have been contacted. He's only thrown 26 misses of those 240 pitches before this start. Downstairs, and it's 2 balls, no strikes. Now, there's nothing wrong with playing to contact, but you better be good defensively, and Emporia State this year has committed 12 errors in the first month of the year. They committed 1 of their victory over OBU on opening day. Schaefer pulls that one foul and bounces it towards the Hornets' dugout. Jaden Schaefer did not play when these two teams played in Edmond. Playing at his 12th game, his 11th start. Jaden had a solid weekend against Harding. A great start to the homestand against Pittsburgh State last week. Throw over to first. And Lasad dives back in safely. The Bison have not run with as much regularity and certainly not as much success as they have in past years. Just 7 of 13 of their first 13 ball games. Here's Barton's pitch. Called a strike, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. You can see when there's somewhat of a close-up on Barton, his jersey is really ruffled in this breeze here this afternoon in Shawnee. They play the middle. Brant's almost behind the bag at second. There goes Lasad. The pitch is downstairs. The throw in a second, not in time. In the first stolen base for Isaiah Lasad of the season. So now, Barton is going to have to throw a strike to Schaefer, or he puts the first 2 hitters aboard with Dan Pruitt coming to the plate. It is not an ideal situation for any pitcher, especially with just a 3-run lead here early. Here is the pitch. Down and in, and he walked him. So Jaden Schaefer draws his 7th walk. He has great plate discipline. The former Savage from nearby Tecumseh High School. 7 walks to go with a strikeout. OBU's starting lineup has 4 players with 11 strikeouts or more, and only one, Dan Pruitt, who stepped to the plate with more than double digits in walks, and Dan has 13. Dan Pruitt hitting .289. He's played and started at all 13 games entering this one. And the first pitch is away. 1 ball, no strikes. Bison won their home conference opening series last weekend. 2 games to 1 over Harding. Emporia State dropped 2 of 3 to Northeastern State last weekend. In comes the 1-0 pitch. Big swing, no contact. That was a slider right there, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. OBU this year, with runners aboard, hitting .344. As opposed to .223 with runners in scoring position. There you see Rocker Bomber jogging out quickly for a brief visit with Cade Barton. Barton handed a 3-run lead after a half inning thanks to the 2-out home run by Carlberg, but Bison trying to answer back here in their first. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Lasad takes off. The throw to third. Offline. Into left field. That's going to score a run. And now Schaefer will take second base. And that'll be a throwing error on Rocker Bomber. That's 3-1. A good throw probably gets Isaiah Lasad. But that ball sailed offline to the right, and Hutchison at third was unable to knock it down. So the first error of the ball game charged to the Hornets catcher, T.J. Rocker Bomber. Here's the pitch. Misses low and away. Count 3 balls, 1 strike now to Dan Pruitt. Dan Pruitt, a multiple All-America selection after his first year here on Bison Hill a year ago. Out of Oklahoma City and Putnam City Original High School. Rant standing behind the back at second. Barton's pitch comes home, and it's wide. He is really scuffled here early. An infield hit, a stolen base, 2 walks, and error. It's 3-1. And already coming out of the dugout is the pitching coach for Days like this, where there is any type of wind at all, you don't want to be issuing free passes to this OBU squad. It is a hitter's paradise for OBU batters in the spring, with a persistent wind blowing out towards left and left center field. In fact, OBU is going to be visiting a launching pad coming on Friday night and Saturday afternoon at Myers Stadium in Alva. Although I was talking to Cece before the ball game, and he said the forecast is saying winds in out of the north for both games of that series, so that will help the pitching staffs immensely. Here's Alex Schroeder, the DH. Barton comes set, now delivers, and the pitch is on the inside corner for a strike. It is 0-1. Alex hitting 190, 14th start, 8 hits, 4 home runs, and 13 driven in. You look at this OBU lineup, overall they're 6 and 7, but they have a lot of big bats that haven't done much at all in the first month. 0-1 pitch, low. I mean, you look at Schroeder, he's hitting 190. Last year was well into the 300s. Lasad hitting 218 before an infield hit here with the first. Parga will hit better. He's hitting 261 at the bottom of the lineup. So this lineup, as potent as it is, certainly has room for improvement as the pitch is in the dirt and smothered by Rocker Bomber. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Alex last year had a terrific season, hitting behind Dan Pruitt. Those two combined for over 40 home runs in their first year together here on Bison Hill. Here's the 2-1 offering. And a ground ball to short that could be 2, but it's booted by Rance. Now he'll throw to first and won't get Schroeder. So the bases are loaded, and already the Hornets have 2 errors behind a struggling Cade Barton.
Now batting right fielder number 20, Cade Self.
Here is Cade Self, who is having a terrific start to the year. In 13 games, he is hitting 340. He's a senior, one of 2 seniors in the lineup today in this midweek game. First pitch is low and away, 1 ball, no strikes. Cade Self was the designated hitter here on Sunday afternoon against Harding. He is back defensively out in right field, his usual fielding position. In comes the 1-0 pitch. Took it high, 2 balls, no strikes. With Shields catching, that means the DH is Schroeder, which means Gabe Irwin, at least to start this ball game, has the day off. He has been primarily the everyday left fielder for the Bison. Then comes the pitch, and it's swung on line to the right center field. That's down. It'll tie the game. In comes Schaefer. In comes Pruitt. Heading to third base is Schroeder, and it is now a 3-3 tie. So Cade Self comes through, delivering his 17th hit of the year, the most in the ball club, and he's into double digits for a second straight year at RBIs with 10 and 11. So just like that, OBU makes that Emporia State lead vanish. Here's third baseman Trey Furry, first pitch. Inside corner for a strike. It's 0-1. Trey's family was in town this weekend, and I'm not certain whether they got out of town before the tornadoes hit on Sunday. They must have thought, what in the world have we come into in this state? It was cold during the weekend, Saturday and Sunday for the Harding series. Started to warm up Sunday. Severe weather in the northwest part of the city, unfortunately, took on some damage from a tornado. The pitch is outside, 1 ball, 1 strike, and if you have a moment, put those folks in your thoughts and prayers. A lot of lives flipped upward in just a matter of moments on Sunday night. Infield playing back. Runners at second and third. A 3-3 game here in the first. Here's Horton's pitch, and that was on the handle, and Furry slaps it back. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Trey's mom and dad live in California. That's the home state of Furry. His grandparents from Ohio were in town. And I said on the broadcast Sunday, they were loving that balmy weather. Well, the Californians probably not so much. Second baseman Johnson it shaded towards the middle. Furry chases one away and whacks it foul. Trey hitting .356. He's off to a really good start. 16 hits, 45 at bats. And he already has a fourth of his hits for extra bases. Has a triple, 3 doubles, and 7 RBIs. A chance to add to that total right here in the first. And the 1-2 pitch. Popped it up again, and that's again out of play. You know, you feel for Cade Barton. His numbers have not been good. He's scuffled off and on in this first inning, but he has not had any help at all from his defense. First, a fielded error, throw-in error by the catcher Rocker Bomber, and then a fielded error by Andrew Rance at short. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Furry. He swats that one at the eyes out of play. Out of play down near the right field corner, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Trey, a junior from Folsom, California, played at Folsom Lake College. We have documented over the years the junior college pipeline that Oklahoma Baptist under Cox and Painter have established. Here is the 1-2 pitch. Low and away, 2 balls and 2 strikes. So already the pitch count starting to mount for Cade Barton. Two and 2 the count, and in comes the pitch. A bouncing ball out to short and past the diving shortstop Rance into center field. That's a seeing eye single if I've ever seen one. 2-run score at OBU with a 5-run first, and still nobody out, leads by 2. It looked like Rance was going to have a play on it, and then that ball just took a hop underneath his glove and scooted into the outfield. So good for Trey Furry as he gets his first hit. And here is the catcher, Troy Shields. So look at Trey, who just made it 5-3, giving OBU their first advantage of the afternoon. Horton to face Shields. Swing and a miss to Troy. No balls, 1 strike. Shields making his 7th start. Hitting .316, off to a better start than a year ago. Of his 6 hits, 4 of them have gone for extra bases, a couple of doubles and 2 home runs. Still nobody out in the first, and Furry is off. The pitch is high. The throw into second, not in time. That'll go into center field. That's the 3rd error of the end of the second against Rocker Bomber. That's a stolen base, E2. Furry was able to steal the bag successfully, even with a good throw, but that ball sailed wide right of the target. And now 3 errors on the Hornets here with this first inning. Shields even up, 1 ball, 1 strike. Anything to the outfield extends the Bison lead. Then comes the pitch, and it's hit on the ground to short. Rance has it. That'll score the run. Andrews throw to first in time for out number 1, but Troy Shields will deliver an RBI ground out. That's his 7th run batted into the season.
Now batting left fielder, number 23, Rafael Gutierrez.
So the 6-3 ground out makes it 6-3 Oklahoma Baptist. And the left fielder, Rafael Gutierrez, the 8th hitter to face Barton in the inning, and he misses upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Gutierrez is making his 6th start, 10th appearance, 5 hits and an RBI. Fastball inside, 2 balls, no strikes. Gutierrez is a junior from Orlando, Florida, from Lassen Community College out in California. Off-speed strike, 2 balls and 1 strike. So what a route this young man has taken to Shawnee, Oklahoma. From Florida to the Sunshine State of California, now to Oklahoma. 2-1 pitch. Hit down the line and right, but that is slicing foul, and Williams will not be able to get there. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Emporia State capitalized on a mistake by Nolan Fiesel on the first pitch to Carlberg with 2 outs in their half of the inning to take a 3-0 lead. The Bison here this first inning have plated 6 runs. There's nobody aboard and 1 out. Fouled off. Gutierrez stays alive. Barton has given up 6 runs, 4 of which are earned. Ground ball again to short. Rentz has it, now throws over to first, and there's 2 gone. Gutierrez that time was out on his front foot and reaching. Easy play for Rentz, the shortstop, and now here is Jose Parga. This will be the 9th batter faced by Cade Barton, and they are starting to stretch now in the Emporia State bullpen beyond the right field fence. Jose Parga hitting .261. Looks at a pitch to the outside corner for a strike. Jose Parga, as you see another look at that ground out off of Gutierrez's bat. Could see that he was out on his front foot reaching. Parga, solid defender. Welcome back to the lineup, a big part of a 2-1 series win over Harding this past weekend. Nicks that ball foul, and it's no balls, 2 strikes. Parga with 4 singles, a double, a home run. He drove in 8. He hit a grand slam home run to the second against the Bisons of Harding here on Sunday afternoon. Gave OBU what turned out to be a 5-1 lead before they squandered it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. In comes the pitch. That's belted down the line and left, but it's foul. And wasn't foul by much. So we'll do it again, the 1 ball, 2 strike offering. And Barton brings it home. It's in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Softball will be at home on Friday night, Saturday afternoon, to take on Northwestern Oklahoma State. Next door, we'll have all of that action for you here on the Bison Sports Network. In comes the 2-2 pitch. It hits in the left-handed hitter's batter's box and shoots away. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. 3-2 the count. Barton brings home the pitch. Swing and a miss. Parga swung out of his shoes, and down he goes, and Barton gives up 6, facing 9. 3 hits, 2 errors, or 3 errors, and nobody left. We go to the second. It's 6-3, OBU and Shawnee over Emporia State of the Bison Sports Network.
After 1 inning, the OBU lead 6-3.
Estate planning is a crucial step in protecting your family's future. With an estate plan, you can decide how to distribute your assets.
How many pitches was in that inning?
And support ministries after you pass away. It involves some pretty big decisions. But with guidance from Water's Edge, you can plan for your children's future, give to Kingdom causes, and get expert help along the way. Build a solid foundation for your family. Start your estate plan today. Visit watersedgeservices.org.
Here at SCI Supply.
Parade of Bison pitchers to the mound has begun. First of the day out of the bullpen, Jordan Brewer, a left-hander. He hits low 90s, and when he is in command, you see Jordan there, of his stuff, he is really, really good out of the bullpen. Jordan Brewer, 6'1", 206, left-hander from Choctaw. Transferred in to Bison Hill from Cali County Community College. Gave up the only run a week ago today against Pitt State in a 9-1 victory over the Gorillas. The run was earned, 1 hit, 1 strikeout, and 1 walk in 1 inning for Jordan. He has allowed runs in each of his first 3 appearances. Coach Cox was telling me in the dugout before the ball game, he said, boy, if we can get Jordan right coming out of the bullpen, how many clubs in the conference have that type of arm in the bullpen.
Now batting number 8.
Brewer will face Case Johnson, the second baseman, and it's 7, 8, and 9 due up for Emporia State. Case Johnson hitting a $125, 7th start, 9th appearance. First pitch from Brewer is high and away with a fastball, 1 ball, no strikes. Jordan Brewer, 3 appearances, earned him an average of 15, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts. Next pitch at the knees for a strike, and it's 1-1. And as you heard in our pregame interview with Cody Painter, this is what games like this are made for, to give guys like Jordan Brewer and that bullpen some work. Breaking pitch for a strike, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. You'd love as a Bison fan for Jordan's older brother Brandon to get healthy. He just has really fought injuries during his time here on Bison Hill. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Good pitch by Brewer, and that's back-to-back strikeouts for the Bison pitching staff. So here's Chandler Bloomer.
Now batting number 3, Chandler Bloomer.
Chandler Bloomer hitting 0.87. 9th start, 11th appearance for the senior from Ottawa, Kansas. Transfer from Barton. Swats the first pitch out of play for a strike, and it's 0-1. Jordan Brewer back in the season opener on February the 3rd against this Emporia State team. Gave up 3 earned runs on 3 hits. Called strike, and he's ahead here 0-2. He struck out 1, walked 2. So Brewer trying to get even with ESU here in this second inning of work. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Laid off of 1, low and away, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brewer has multiple pitches at his disposal. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one goes to the backstop on a hop, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Again, it will be a bullpen day. All hands on deck as they're going to give a lot of pitchers some work today and help to sort out what is a very deep pitching staff here in February. That just misses, and it's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Shields did a good job of pulling that pitch up very quickly, trying to buy a strike from the home plate umpire. Here comes the 3-2 pitch, and that one is driven into left center field. Lasada's on his horse. Can he get there? And no, he will not. It hits off the base of the fence, and heading for second is Bloomer. So Chandler Bloomer has his 3rd hit, but his first that was not a single. Emporia State with their 17th double of the year. And Jordan Brewer now has given up his 3rd hit. So Brandon Tauber, T-A-U-B-E-R, the center fielder, drops one down on a swinging bunt, charging from third. Furry over to first in time, and Bloomer moves to third. So a 5-3 putout, and that brings Caden Williams to the plate. Williams reached on a fielded error on the very first pitch of the afternoon against Jose Parca. Runner at third, 2 outs. First pitch, breaking ball, strike, 0-1 the count. Williams hitting .211 out of the leadoff spot. Pitch is a swing and a miss, change speeds on him, and it's no balls, 2 strikes. Williams faced Jordan Brewer the season opener, and he drew a walk. In comes the pitch, swing and a miss. Shields finds it, throws to first, hit it over. Brewer with a couple of strikeouts. Nothing comes of the double. It's stranded at third. 1 hit, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the second. 6-3 Oklahoma Baptist on the Bison Sports Network.
For Emporia in the top of the second, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1.
And I'm a trial lawyer. But that was not my original plan. I went to Oklahoma Baptist University, and law school wasn't even on my radar. And then one day it was. Why? Sometimes those with more power than others abuse that power. Instead of doing the right thing because it's the right thing, they do the wrong thing because it's profitable. An innocent victim is victimized again. They feel helpless and voiceless against the multi-billion-dollar insurance company. I saw it happen. I watched a family member suffer as the system left them feeling helpless and voiceless. I am not helpless, and I do have a voice. And for my clients, when the fight comes, the insurance company pulling strings in the shadows doesn't face a powerless victim. They face me. For way too long, insurance companies and major corporations have pushed around hardworking Oklahomans. McIntyre Law pushes back. If you need someone that tries cases and doesn't just settle, call McIntyre Law for a meeting at no cost to you. We are McIntyre Law, and we will fight for you.
No strikes. Bison will be on the road for 3 this weekend in Alva. Next Tuesday up in Pittsburgh, Kansas, and then back home next week, a week from Friday, to take on Southeastern. There's a liner into the gap in right center field. That is a one-hopper up to the top of the fence, and Lasad stands in a second with a leadoff double. Already 4 hits for OBU. That's their second extra base hit, and both have gone to that part of the ballpark. Cade Self with one similar to that back in the first inning. Jaden Schaefer will face Barton for a second time, and the right-hander continuing to work, this time much quicker, out in the SU bullpen. Schaefer walks, scored back in the first. Bison trailed 3-0, then answered with 6 of their half of the inning. Down and in, 1 ball, no strikes. If you're looking for that perfect gift for the OBU student, alumni, or fan in your life, visit shopobubison.com, the official online store of OBU Athletics, for the best selection of officially licensed gifts, apparel, and more, with proceeds benefiting Oklahoma Baptist. Pitcher-catcher conference out there with the mound with Rocker Bomber. Second time he has got out to the mound. You know, I asked Cody Painter about the new pitching apparatus that they are using this year, how it's benefited the pitching staff and the defense, also about the pitch clock, and at least in his comments on air, he seemed to be in favor of the pitch clock. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Downstairs, 2 balls, no strikes. He said what it does, he said it makes it easier to play defense because the pitcher is in a rhythm. Well, there's not all those delays. It's all about rhythm anyway, and the shorter the time in between pitches, the more of a rhythm you're able to develop. 2-0 pitch. That's blasted into right field. Not deep enough, though. Williams is there. Lasad will make the catch, tag to second. That ball was really well hit by Schaefer, but not deep enough. He advances the runner, so it's a productive out, and here's Dan Pruitt with the 7th run of the afternoon, standing 90 feet away.
Now batting first baseman, number 28, Dan Pruitt.
Dan walked, scored a run. The first 6 batters all reached and all 6 scored. Shields, Gutierrez, and Parga then went down to the bottom of the order. 1, 2, 3 to limit the damage or any further damage. Big swing, no contact from Pruitt for a strike. It is 0-1. So you can see there's been, as we told you, the scouting report on Cade Barton, a lot of pitching to contact. OBU's put a lot of balls in play. When he hasn't walked hitters, he walked 2 as part of that 6-run first. The 0-1 pitch. At the knees for a strike, 0-2 to Dan Pruitt. Dan Pruitt in the season opener was 2 for 5 with a couple of RBIs and a strikeout against Emporia. Here is Barton's 0-2 pitch, and a called strike on the outside corner. Pruitt can't believe it. That was one of the more lethargic punch-outs I think I've ever seen. So the second strikeout for Cade Barton, now 2 outs after the leadoff double, and here's Schroeder. Alex reached E6 on a fielded error by Rance back in the first inning. Martin's pitch is low and away, 1 ball, no strikes. We mentioned that this is the second go-around of 3 games against the Great American Conference for the Hornets. First half of the month, they went 2-1 against the league. 1-0 pitch. Hit into right field. Going back is Williams, still going back and gone. Alex Schroeder, and he hit it off of one of the support beams that used to hold up the old scoreboard. So it's 8-3, and that ball just continued to carry off Schroeder's bat.
Alex Schroeder, home run.
I didn't know whether or not he got enough of it, to be honest with you. And it just continued to carry, and then it hit one of those poles you could see out there on your screen and bound back into the field of play. So Alex now has his 5th home run. That's a team-high total, and the first pitch downstairs to self, 1 ball, no strikes. Schroeder also now has driven in 15 of the season. In comes the pitch. Inside corner, good pitch, 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's another look at that Schroeder home run to right. Nice easy swing, ball carried out to right. 8-3 OBU. Check swing, foul ball, and self behind 1 ball, 2 strikes. So 2 hits, both for extra bases, have extended the Oklahoma Baptist run, or lead to 8-3. In comes the 1-0 pitch, or 1-2 pitch, in tight, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Self today, a 2-run double back in the first. The pitch grounded to second base. Johnson to an E has it over to first, and the inning is over. Unfortunately for the Hornets and Cade Barton, it came 1 batter too late. Alex Schroeder's 5th home run of the year here in the second extends the lead to 8-3 Bison here on the OBU Sports Network.
Romeo the bottom of the second, 2 runs on 2 hits.
Spending life wisely means taking small steps towards a life of love and impact. And we're here to inspire and empower you along the way. Spend life wisely. First United Bank.
Welcome back here to Bison Ford Park at Bobby Cox Field. Tuesday afternoon, we played 2 this midweek affair. OBU trying to even the series with Emporia State with a big lead early, 8-3. Jordan Brewer is out there for his 2nd inning of work. Don't forget, you can enjoy authentic Italian quality pizza right here at Shawnee with Marco's Pizza. They have lunch specials between 11 and 2 Monday through Friday. Starting at $5.49, a special student special that includes a large 1-topping pizza and a cheesy bread for only $10 with Marco's Pizza. Pizza lovers get it. Reminder to stay up to date in all the latest OBU sports news and scores by following us on Facebook at OBU Bison and on Twitter and Instagram at OBU_athletics. Todd Miller with the Bison Sports Network crew here in Shawnee. We're through 2, and Brewer's first pitch is downstairs to Bukovetsky for ball 1. Bukovetsky reached to the fielder's choice. He scored ahead of the 3-run home run by Carlberg back in the first. Here's Brewer's pitch. Upstairs fastball, 2 balls, no strikes. This will be the final inning for Jordan Brewer. It looks like Roy Pagero is working behind him out there with the bullpen. Here's the 2-0 pitch. At the knees for a strike, 2 balls and 1 strike. Reminder, basketball in the Great American Conference Tournament, men of the 2-7 matchup against Southern Arkansas. Thursday at Fire Lake Arena. 2:45 the tip time, a swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. Women will play the first game of day 2. Their opponent will be Arkansas Tech in the 4-5 matchup. All the action on the Great American Conference Sports Network and on the radio, KGFF.com. Brewer thought that was strike 3. They called it in tight, and it's 3-2. Bukovetsky, give him credit, I guess, for laying off that pitch because it looked really good. Here's Brewer's payoff pitch. Popped up into left field. Gutierrez is there. He shields his face with his throwing hand and puts the glove up in the air for out number 1.
Now back number 12, Palmer Hutchinson.
Baseball at Northwestern, softball against Northwestern here on Friday and Saturday. So, as is usually the case in February, crossover sports and lots of it here on Bison Hill. Here's Palmer Hutchinson, fouled out to Pruitt his first time, and he jumps on that one and lines it foul into the left field corner for a strike. Fiesel gave up 3 runs, all earned on 2 hits at his half of the first. Brewer so far has allowed a double, struck out 2 of the first 5 hitters he's faced, now in an inning plus. A 1 pitch. In tight, did he swing? Yes, he did. They go to first, and he was unable to check his swing, so he's behind 0-2. Palmer Hutchinson drove in a run, struck out once, walked twice, scored a run in the 17-9 season opening Hornet win over the Bison. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Emporia picked to the bottom half of the MIAA. By comparison, Pittsburgh State was picked second in the poll. 1-2 pitch, and he got it. Good breaking ball by Jordan Brewer, who now has his 3rd strikeout, and it's up to Rocker Bomber here for the Hornets in the 3rd inning.
Now batting number 33, TJ Rockerbauer.
Emporia State is headed up by Seth Wheeler. He's in his 5th season, 4 games below 500. 66-70. Here's another look at that breaking ball for a strike. First pitch to Rocker Bomber, a fastball upstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. So Jordan, for the most part, really commanded his pitches here in 2 innings, and I know that pleases Painter and Cox. 1-0 pitch. Downstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. Isaiah Lasad is shifted almost directly into the gap in left center field. Didn't mean to, went around, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike to TJ. If Rockin' Bomber were to pull one, he could run for days between center and right center. 2-1 pitch, and that cocks him with a batting helmet. So sure enough, as I said, Brewer was commanding his pitches. He throws 3 of the 4 in that at bat out of the strike zone and hits his first runner of the afternoon. OBU has now hit 13 opposing batters of the year. And here is Quentin Carlberg. He is dangerous out of the number 5 spot. We saw it with a blast to left field and out over the bullpen. Back in the 1st inning, accounting for all 3 Hornets runs as he takes away 1 ball, no strikes. Beautiful afternoon here in Shawnee, and after the stormy weekend, we certainly deserve it. Here's the 1-0 pitch. In tight, 2 balls, no strikes. Carlberg with his 2nd hit in as many games against OBU. His other hit was a single back on opening day. The pitch, swing and a miss, off or foul tipped, and it's 2 balls and a strike. I didn't honestly hear it ping the bat, but the home plate umpire immediately after the ball went out of the glove of Shields called dead ball. In comes the 2-1 pitch. That's outside, 3 balls and a strike. So with a 5-run lead and retiring the first 2 batters in the 3rd, the last thing OBU wants is Jordan Brewer to fall apart and start walking into or hitting batters. The 3-1 offering upstairs, and he's done just that. Rocker Bomber down to 2nd. Carlberg to 1st, and the inning stays alive for Andrew Rantz, R-A-N-T-Z. Transfer from Kansas State, played for Peyton Hughes last year, and out of the dugout comes the associate head coach, Cody Painter, who also deals with the pitchers. Cody is challenging Jordan Brewer eye to eye to throw strikes. See the conference right there. Tell you what, OBU, those around the program know this, but just everyday fans may not appreciate Cody Painter like they should. This guy is a workhorse. He does so many things, wears so many different hats for this team. Bison are very fortunate to have him on staff. Here's the first pitch to Rance. Swing and a miss. That gets away from Shields. And now stumbling towards second base was Carlberg. But now with the runner at third, Troy just puts it in his pocket. It's an 0-1. Eight runs, 5 hits for the Bison. 3 runs, 3 hits for the Hornets. ESU with 3 of the game's 4 errors here in the first 3 innings. Fly ball popped up behind home plate. It was on the handle when it's out of play. First United Bank, educating and empowering our community to spend life wisely with convenient locations in Shawnee and Seminole. They are the official bank sponsor of OBU Athletics. The 0-2 pitch. That one is popped up on the infield. Down from first comes Pruitt near the mound. He makes the catch and the inning is over. So Cody Painter went out there and Jordan Brewer accepted the challenge. He hits one, walks one, but Emporia State leaves 2. Hornets have stranded 3 through 3 innings, and after 2.5, it's 8-3 Oklahoma Baptist here on the Bison Sports Network.
Hey guys, we gotta make this quick. I got a 7 o'clock curtain call at the opera.
You know you could just order online.
No. A gentleman always does things the old-fashioned way.
All right, well, I just put your order in, so.
Well, it didn't tell you what I ordered.
I got you an ultimate patty melt with a side of loaded fries and a Dr. Pepper.
That is what I ordered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We spend way too much time together.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can order your food and fried pies online at boomerangdiner.com.
New pitcher. New pitcher for Emporia State. Right-hander number 25, Ryan Sutter, S-A-U-T-E-R. 6'3", 230, sophomore from Olathe. Played at Olathe West High School. So, Cade Barton's afternoon is over. He allows 8 runs, 6 earned, 5 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. His earned run average of 27 today will certainly not help. An average that was well over 10.2 before the start of play today. So Trey Furry will be the first to face Ryan Sauter. For Ryan Sauter, this will be his first appearance on the mound this season. Correction, it is not Sauter, it is Braden Tower. So Braden Tower is into the ball game, not Sauter. That's 26, not 25. Big difference because Tower has been in now 3 times. His earned run average 3.6, no record. 4 strikeouts and 2 walks. Here is Trey Furry. And the first pitch to the Bison third baseman is a strike, 0-1 the count. So Tower, a 6'2", 185-pound freshman from Shawnee, Kansas, delivers and Furry sprays that one into right field. They'll drop it in for a base hit. His second of the ball game, and the Bison now have 6 safeties off 2 Hornet pitchers. And the catcher, Troy Shields, comes up. Shields had an RBI ground out back in the first inning. Braden Tower, 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, batted average against .263. Emporia State pitching to an earned run average of over 6 like OBU. Breaking ball hit high in the air at center field, but Tauber is there. Still going back as the breeze was pushing that. Now tagging and sprinting towards third is Trey Furry. So a good job by Furry to take the extra base. And it's a productive out for Troy Shields. So here's Rafael Gutierrez. Bison beat Pitt State 9-1 in this field a week ago today. Won 14-4, 2-1 over Harding. Lost to the Bison 7-5 in the series finale Sunday afternoon. Towers' first pitch downstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. So Brandon Tower trying to keep it an 8-3 deficit for his Hornets. Good fastball and the late swing fouled off. 1 ball, 1 strike. One on, one out. We're in the 3rd inning. 8-3 Oklahoma Baptist. Here's Towers' pitch. It's in the dirt. Good block that time by Rocker Bomber. No advancement from Furry, and it's 2-1. Braden Tower. Told you was in for the 3rd time this year. He has been an early season, midweek guy on the mound for Seth Wheeler. Here's the pitch. Down and away. 3 balls and 1 strike. Three and 1 the count. And the pitch is low, so he walked him. Well, the Hornets have scuffled. They have done it against a pretty good schedule. Went 2-1 at the Edmond First Pitch Classic. They dropped 4 games in Kansas, or dropped 3 of 4 to Minot State, then played Augustana in Kansas. Lost 3 of 4 to the Vikings. That's all part of this current 3-9 slide for ESU. Here's the shortstop, Jose Parca. Braden Towers' pitch. Checked his swing, but did not. It's a strike, 0-1 the count. That slider from Tower had Parga all tied up. Furry at second, Gutierrez at first. So good speed out there with a base pass. Furry darting back and forth draws the attention of Braden Tower. Tower out of the short stretch. They don't hold Furry at second. The pitch hit hard to the ground, past the diving third baseman Hutchison. Into the left field corner. Furry will walk home with the run. And digging for third with a stop sign is Gutierrez, and it's an RBI double for Jose Parca, and it's 9-3 Oklahoma Baptist. We'll see if we can get another look at that hit. Parca hit it hard to the ground as Palmer Hutchison made a diving attempt, but it scooted just underneath his glove. So back to the top of the order for Isaiah Lasad. They are quiet right now in the Hornet bullpen. Then comes the pitch. Off speed at the belt buckle for a strike. It's 0-1. Here's another look at that swing. An RBI producing double by Jose Parca. Just ripped it underneath the glove of Hutchison. 9-3 now, Oklahoma Baptist. Here's the pitch. Popped it up into right field. Williams coming in will make the catch tagging is Parka. He's going to sprint home. The throw is cut off. Or Gutierrez scores. Parka takes third. It's now 10-3. So Isaiah Lasad drives home the run. That is his 9th RBI of the year. The Bison with 6 in the first, 2 in the second, so far 2 here in the third, with a runner at third and now 2 outs for Jaden Schaefer. Schaefer's walk flied out to right and takes the first pitch from Tower for a strike. It is 0-1. Next pitch low, 1 ball, 1 strike. One pitch downstairs, 2 balls and a strike. So Braden Tower is in for the first time since February the 18th. 4 innings, 3 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts against Augustana. His only other appearance against Minot back on February the 12th. He's fallen behind Schaefer now, 3 balls and a strike. In comes the 3-1 pitch, and he walked him, so Schaefer aboard for a second time. That keeps the inning alive for Dan Pruitt. Tower walks Schaefer. The second walk that he has given up in the inning. He usually is pretty accurate around the strike zone. He throws about 61% strikes entering this one. Here's Dan Pruitt, struck out looking at a questionable called third strike back in the second as the throw lobbed over to first. Tower, primarily fastball slider, will occasionally, and I mean occasionally, throw a changeup or a curveball. There's a slider right there on the outside corner, and it's 0-1. He had thrown a total of 33 pitches in his other appearances. Only 4 of those 33 had been a curveball or slider. Here's Tower's pitch. Inside fastball, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. OBU trying to finish a 4-1 homestand with the next 4 games away from Shawnee before coming back in a couple of weeks for Southeastern. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. That was a slider away, and it's 1-2. He will throw slightly more fastballs than sliders. About 12 different in that breakdown. 34 fastballs, 22 sliders coming in for Tower in his prior 2 appearances. Braden pauses at the belt. Now the pitch. And time is called as Pruitt backs out of the batter's box. (10-3) Oklahoma Baptist. Bison with a big game offensively. Braden Tower gets the sign from Rocker Bomber. Now delivers. And that one just misses in tight. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Told you Dan has very good mastery of the strike zone. For a power hitter, he has drawn to the season 13, make that 14 walks with the first inning free pass. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Reaching, and he nicks that one foul off the end of the bat. As is the case with a lot of power hitters, he will strike out. He struck out now 20 times in the year, but a lot of power hitters don't draw 14 walks in 14 games. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him with a slider away, and down goes Pruitt. OBU picks up 2 runs on 2 hits. There are a couple of walks and 2 left. We move to the 4th in Shawnee. 10-3 Oklahoma Baptist on the Bison Sports Network.
Roby at the bottom of the 3rd. 2 runs on 2 hits.
Fans, do you want the chance to support OBU student athletes from the convenience of your own mobile device? Text hashtag BAA at OBU to the number 52014 to support BAA student athletes. Donations are fully tax deductible, and every gift makes a difference in the OBU student athlete's life. Again, text hashtag BAA at OBU to the number 52014. For more information, log on to obubison.com.
Here's the look at the third OBU pitcher of the day, Roy Peguero, P-E-G-U-E-R-O. Third appearance for Roy, 2 2/3, 1 hit, 2 runs, both of which were unearned with a walk and 3 strikeouts. And Peguero's a guy that they want to find out where his place is in this rotation or this bullpen. Decent numbers through 2 starts. 111 batting average against for Roy Peguero. Junior from Boston, played at Gaither High School, 6'6", 274. So a really big guy out there with a mound for OBU. OBU has struck for multiple runs in each of the first 3 innings, and if you're just joining, they actually trailed 3-0 after a Carlberg home run with 2 outs in the first. And then it quickly erased that with 6 in the first, 2 in the second, and 2 in the third. So Peguero, like Jordan Brewer 2 innings ago, will get the bottom third of the lineup to start here in the fourth. Case Johnson struck out against Brewer in the first pitch, fastball high, 1 ball, no strikes. Peguero last pitched at Edmond on February the 15th, 2/3 of an inning. Gave up 2 runs, both of which were unearned. OBU won that midweek game against the Broncos, then ranked 13th in the country at the time. Nobody on, nobody out. 2 balls, no strikes now to Case Johnson, the second baseman. Now it's 3-0. Peguero's only other appearance came against Missouri Western over in Arkansas. Called strike, and it's 3-1. 2 innings, and they were 2 clean innings with just a couple of strikeouts. See if he can climb out of a 3-0 deficit. The 3-1 pitch hit hard on the ground, third base side, so it's full. Good look at Bobby Cox Field at Ford Park in Shawnee. So much tradition with this OBU baseball program over the decades. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Popped up, that is tailing down the right field line and giving chase is Pruitt, and he tries to make a rolling catch and can't. Three and 2 to Case Johnson with Bloomer on deck. Peguero gets the sign from Shields, now brings home the 3-2 pitch, and he lost him a fastball in tight. So Emporia State, for the first time since the first inning, has their leadoff hitter aboard. Chandler Bloomer will be the batter. Entering play today through 13 games, the opponent's leadoff batters reaching 32% of the time. A little tapper, foul on the first base side. 0-1 the count. Roy Peguero now has allowed the leadoff hitter to reach half of the 4 times he's faced him, with the leadoff walk to Case Johnson here in the fourth. Peguero's pitch. Hit foul to get off the end of the bat, this time towards the third base side. No balls, 2 strikes. 76 degrees at game time, about 22 degrees warmer than our first pitch tip here on Sunday against Harding. It did climb into the 60s by the conclusion of that ball game. Figueroa checks the runner, now brings it home, and he bounces it to the plate. It's away from Troy Shields, and the wild pitch will put Johnson into scoring position. Runner at second. Emporia State batted to the fourth, down 10-3 here at OBU. Here is the 1-2 pitch. Comes in backdoor and got him looking. Good pitch by Figueroa. OBU pitching now has struck out at least one Hornet in each of the first 4 innings. And here is Brendan Tauber.
Now batting number 10, Brendan Tauber.
Brendan Tauber grounded out third to first his at bat in the second inning. That came against Jordan Brewer. First Figueroa pitch stays high, 1 ball, no strikes. This is an area that OBU has got to get much better in. They've been good pitching without runners aboard, 223, but with runners on base this year, the opponents are hitting 344. 1-0 pitch, in there for a strike, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Figueroa has been among the better in that scenario with runners aboard. Posing batters just 1 for 4. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fly ball, left center field. That's exactly where Lasad had him played. He backpedals about 3 steps. He'll make the catch. Now the runner will tag, and Johnson will stand safely at third base. Now with 2 outs, a scoring opportunity for the leadoff hitter, Caden Williams.
Now batting number 2, Caden Williams.
Caden Williams, 0 for 2, reached in an air with the first, struck out swinging in the second. So Caden Williams has faced now all 3 of the Bison pitchers today. We were told they may use as many as 8 during this game. Figueroa's first pitch bounces to the plate, and here comes the runner home. And it is now 10-4. So 2 wild pitches after a walk, and that run was totally on Roy Figueroa. Pitch on the outside plate, 1 ball, 1 strike. Roy has yet to give up a hit. With 2 outs in an inning, he's 0 for 2. Opponent's 274, and that's split. Ground ball pulled to the right side, gloved by Dan Pruitt. He'll feed it to Roy, covering the bag in time. And the out is recorded. 3-1 of the put out. The walk, 2 wild pitches score a run. After 3.5, it's now 10-4. Oklahoma Baptist on the Bison Sports Network.
From Emporia at the top of the 4th, 1 run on no hits, no errors.
Estate planning is a crucial step in protecting your family's future. With an estate plan, you can decide how to distribute your assets, make healthcare decisions, and support ministries after you pass away. It involves some pretty big decisions. But with guidance from Water's Edge, you can plan for your children's future, give to kingdom causes, and get expert help along the way. Build a solid foundation for your family. Start your estate plan today. Visit watersedgeservices.org.
Here at SCI Supply,
Of work, gave up 2 runs, a couple of hits, 2 walks at his unit of work back in the 3rd. Emporia with 3 of the first, 1 here at the top of the 4th has reduced it to a 10-4 game. Back here at Bobby Cox Field at Ford Park on a Tuesday afternoon. There's a look at the inning play. Good feed by Pruitt to Figueroa, and Emporia settles for 1. Alex Schroeder has banged home a 2-run home run today. He's been aboard twice, scored twice, driven into. Leads off, Alex followed by Cade Self and Trey Furry. So up and down the lineup, everybody with the exception of Shields has reached at least 1 time today against Emporia State pitching. First pitch to Schroeder, a good swing, and it's fouled back for a strike. 3 scheduled hitters in this inning have scored a total of 5 runs, and they have driven in 6 of the 10 for OBU. 0-1 pitch. Downstairs, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. More than likely, Paguero's afternoon is over. Will Duncan working to the bullpen. Slider popped out of play off to a right, 1 ball, 2 strikes. So far, we've seen Fiesel for an inning, Jordan Brewer for 2, and Roy Paguero. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Alex Schroeder, and in comes Towers' pitch upstairs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. They actually have a left-hander now, Cameron Poole, working as well, so you see Cody Painter out through the bullpen. Again, this is an afternoon in which they're going to take a look at a lot of different arms at a lot of different situations. Mentioned this last week during the midweek game, how this program really suffered 2 years ago with a lack of midweek contests. 2-2 pitch. In the handle and popped up. First base side, down the line comes Bloom, and he makes the catch near the cut of the grass for out number 1. That year, that team had a lot of pitching depth, not as much as this one does, but because there were no midweek games, many of those guys were hardly ever used and, of course, transferred out of the program. Cade Self, 1 for 2, a 2-run double. Takes it tight. 1 ball, no strikes from Tower. Braden Tower works exclusively from the stretch, and the pitch. Slider for a strike, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. We've gone mobile on Bison Hill. From schedules to news alerts about your favorite Bison programs, the OBU mobile app has you covered. You can find it Google Play or the iPhone App Store. Called strike, advantage to Tower, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cade Self, hometown product. By way of Cali and Akron. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fouled off, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Shawnee High School won a quote-unquote national championship while Cade was in high school, one of the more talented players that have come through that tradition-rich program. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Buried it in the dirt, and the count's full. His dreams really out of high school were to play at the Division I level. And that, of course, was squashed by COVID, as it did to many other athletes in various different sports. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Fouls it off. A lot of people had to adjust on the fly, just looking for a place to play. Chris Cox wanted Cade out of high school. Glad to have him now in his last couple of seasons as a Bison. Towers 3-2 pitch. Ground ball to second. Johnson has it cleanly to first, and there's 2 gone. Bison have scored multiple runs in each of the first 3 innings, so this means Braden Tower has a chance to do something that neither he or the starter, Cade Barton, was able to do, and that's to set the Bison down in order. Furry will be a difficult out as he takes that pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Trey, all he has done is go 2 for 2 with 2 singles. Now the look at that ground out off of Self's bat. So Tower has retired 3 straight with the first 2 out here in the 4th. In tight, 2 balls, no strikes. Since the RBI double by Parga, he actually has retired 4 of the last 5 batters. In comes the 2-0 pitch. It's hit high and deep into left field. That may be gone. Carlberg at the wall, leaps it. It's off the top of the fence. And Furry sprints into second. He's thinking 3, and he will make it easily. Well, that ball just continued to drift, and Carlberg leaped up, and the ball hit just below the yellow stripe into the top of the fence.
Troy Shields.
Trey Furry with a triple with 2 outs here in the 4th. For OBU, that is their 4th triple of the spring, and here is Shields. So already driven 1, could get that run back that the Hornets scored at the top of the 4th. Towers pitch downstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. That ball just continued to carry off of Trey Furry's bat. Boy, he is just red hot right now offensively. 1-0 pitch. Fouls it off, 1 ball, 1 strike. Trey at the start of play today hitting .356. Second only to Jaden Schaefer's .441 batting average. So another look at that triple and how close he came to making it 11-4. 1-1 pitch. Downstairs. So Trey, with 3 hits today, has his 4th 3-hit game of the season already. Went 3 for 4 in the 14-4 win in the series opener last Saturday here against Harding. Tap foul. Shields was reaching to the count, levels at 2-2. He went 3 for 5 against Pittsburgh State in the second game of the year and 3 for 5 in the first game at Arkadelphia against McKendree back on February the 10th. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and he stays alive. Those 3-hit games combine for 3 of his 4 multi-hit games of the year. He went 2 for 4 against Pittsburgh State here in the home opener. 2 balls, 2 strikes. In comes the pitch. Good block that time by Rocker Bomber, and it's 3-2. Furry went 0 for 4 against Harding Sunday afternoon. That ended a 3-game hit streak. During this homestand, Trey Furry has 9 hits. He stands at third after his third of the day. Swing and a miss, slider away, and down goes Shields. And a strikeout for Tower, and he forces OBU to leave a runner aboard. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. We go to the 5th on this Tuesday afternoon in Shawnee. 10-4 Oklahoma Baptist on the Bison Sports Network.
Here at SCI Supply, you truly can purchase with purpose. Whether you're a university, a K-12 school, a local nonprofit, a church, or an individual, we have exactly what you're looking for. And 100% of the profit from your purchase stays here to fulfill the mission of providing vocational training, employment opportunities, and residential care to individuals with special need. So remember, how does your purchase make a purpose? By investing in South Central, the official office supply store of OBU Athletics.
Cameron Poole will come in. Number 4, a left-hander, 6'1", from Lucas, Texas, transfer from McNeese State. Cameron Poole, earned run average 6.75, appearance number 5, all in relief, 2 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 strikeouts, and 5 walks. He pitched against Harding, a third of an inning, struck out his only batter. That's exactly what they like about Cameron Poole for matchup situations. And Coach Cox was telling me before the game, as you see Cameron there getting loose, that he has to learn that this is a very deep bullpen. For instance, if somebody goes out and has a good inning, you don't necessarily have to bring them back out. They have a lot of left-handers, 6 on the roster, that allow for certain in-game matchups. It is fairly rare at this level to see so many talented arms on one roster. Vukovetsky to lead off, and he takes a pitch for does take the pitch for a strike, and it's 0-1. He looked like he wanted to offer, but did not go around. Lefty versus lefty. Here is Cameron Poole's pitch. That just misses, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Cameron Poole this year, leadoff hitters are 1 for 3. Left-handers are 0 for 3. At the knees, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. The shortstop, Parga, is shaded towards the middle. In comes the pitch. Reached for it, grounds it off the mound. On the move, Schaefer scoops and throws to first, and there's 1 out. It was actually a break, I think, for OBU that ball hit the first base side of the mound because it was not hit very sharply at all. And once it hit the mound, it kind of picked up a little bit of speed, but Jaden still had to charge in time to get the throw. Good look at the All-American first baseman Dan Pruitt. And the first pitch is ball 1 to Palmer Hutchison. Infield straightened back up at normal depth. Palmer 0 for 2 with a strikeout his last time up, and he jumps ahead 2 balls, no strikes. Bison with 10 runs on 8 hits. Emporia State 4 runs on 3 hits. In comes the pitch. Fastball away, and it's 3 balls and no strikes. And again, the only knock really on Cameron Poole here early has been the fact that he has given up some walks. He's walked 5 in his first 3 appearances, and he walks 1 in 4 pitches here with 1 out in the 5th.
Now batting number 33, TJ Rockerbauer.
Rockerbauer to bat. He had a single and scored back in the first, was hit by a pitch and stranded in the 3rd. Emporia State won the first meeting 17-9. Oklahoma Baptist won both meetings last year against the Hornets in the regular season. Here's the pitch. Late swing and a foul ball line down the left field side. A year ago, Oklahoma Baptist won 9-0 in the season opener over the Hornets in Edmond. Then in the regular season meeting in Kansas, beat ESU 10-5. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball, tap back to the mound. Poole has it, throws to first, and there's 2 outs. So it's not a sacrifice, but it works like one on a swinging, somewhat bunt attempt. 1-3 the put out. And now let's see what Carlberg can do again with 2 outs. He's 1 for 1 today, and both at bats and plate appearances have come with 2 outs. Hit the 3-run home run of the first, walked in the 3rd with 2 away, and was stranded. Hornets have left 3, and those came in the 2nd and 3rd innings. Breaking ball, Cameron Poole, a strike, 0-1 the count. (10-4). You see the score in the lower left of your screen. Here is the 0-1 pitch. Comes in backdoor. Good pitch from Poole. No balls, 2 strikes. Cameron Poole has yet to allow a base hit in 3 at-bats with 2 outs in an inning. Here's the 0-2 offering. Down and in. Rolls away from Shields, but no advancement. Told you that Cameron Poole against left-handers this year has been tough. He is 3 for 8 entering this appearance against right-handers. Here's the pitch. Ground ball. Knocked down by Furry, but it's off of his glove into left field. That'll be an RBI single for Kalberg, and around 2nd and 3rd is Hutchison to score. It's 10-5. So the Hornets would be in a heck of a mess today if it weren't for Quentin Kalberg. Carlberg has now driven in 4 runs of the afternoon, and the inning remains alive for Andrew Rance. He's 0 for 2, a strikeout to pop out, and a ground ball through the hole and into right field. Rounding second, Carlberg, he'll make it to third as the throw's cut off by Lasad. Now he snaps it back to first. And back in is Rance. So back-to-back base hits. And the Hornets are in business here in the fifth with 2 outs for Case Johnson. Fiesel, Brewer, Peguero, and now Cameron Poole through 4+ innings of the mound today for OBU. Here's Poole's pitch upstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. And this all starts with Carlberg behind 1-2 against Cameron Poole, ripping one off the glove of the third baseman Trey Furry. Throw over to first, nothing doing. Rance stands back in safely. On the year, opponents are 14 of 15 against OBU on the base pass. 1-0 pitch. On the handle, popped up, left field. Playable, though, for Gutierrez, and he'll make the catch to retire the side. A walk, 2 hits, produce a run, 2 left. After 4.5, 10-5, Oklahoma Baptist on the Bison Sports Network.
For Emporia at the top of the fifth, 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 2.
I'm Noble McIntyre, and I'm a trial lawyer. But that was not my original plan. I went to Oklahoma Baptist University, and law school wasn't even on my radar. And then, one day it was. Why? Sometimes those with more power than others abuse that power. Instead of doing the right thing because it's the right thing, they do the wrong thing because it's profitable. An innocent victim is victimized again. They feel helpless and voiceless against the multi-billion-dollar insurance company. I saw it happen. I watched a family member suffer as the system left them feeling helpless and voiceless. I am not helpless, and I do have a voice. And for my clients, when the fight comes, the insurance company pulling strings in the shadows doesn't face a powerless victim. They face me. For way too long, insurance companies and major corporations have pushed around hardworking Oklahomans. McIntyre Law pushes back. If you need someone that tries cases and doesn't just settle, call McIntyre Law for a meeting at no cost to you. We are McIntyre Law, and we will fight for you.
There's the final out of the top of the fifth for the Hornets after they played and won. 10-5, bottom of the fifth, and a new pitcher out now for Emporia State. Number 6, Jake Daniff, freshman from Kansas City, Missouri, played at Park Hill. A right-hander. Daniff in for the third time, earned run average 7.36. 3 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. That an average against 286. Jake Daniff pitched last against the Great American Conference foe against Northwestern in Alva back on the 21st of this month. So a week ago today, 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 earned run, and 2 strikeouts. Jake Daniff will face Gutierrez, Parka, and then Lasad in that order, 8, 9, and 1 for OBU. Bison Athletic Association donors are making a direct and tangible impact on the success of over 450 OBU student athletes in the classroom, in the community, and other fields and courts of competition. When you give to the BAA, you are truly invested in champions. Learn more. Sign up today at obubison.com/BAA. Gutierrez is 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored, and he swings and misses it. Daniff's first pitch for a strike. Jake Daniff, D-A-N-E-F-F. Third Emporia State pitcher of the day, as that one is skied out into right center field. Over is Tauber, over the right fielder Williams, into the gap. He makes the catch, and that's out number 1. Daniff is primarily fastball, curveball. He will throw a change once in a while. He's only thrown 1 slider the entire year. He's thrown 76 pitches entering this one, 63 of those for strikes. Parker with an RBI double back in the third. 1 for 2, shows bunt and takes low, 1 ball, no strikes. Infield remains the same. Bloom at first, Johnson at second, Rance at short, Hutchison at third. Barton and then Tower and now Daniff in that order for ESU pitching today. 1-0 pitch. Upstairs, 2 balls, no strikes. Daniff is another pitch-to-contact pitcher. He has only had 9 swings and misses this year. Another fly ball out of the right. Another playable opportunity for Williams, who comes in with the shades down and puts it away for 2 outs. Can be difficult this time of day playing to the infield and certainly right field. With that sun starting to go down in the west, you're basically looking right into it. And Caden Williams had to have the shades on to make that play. So Isaiah Lasad, couple of hits and an RBI sac fly to his credit today. Takes the first pitch for a strike away. That was a fastball that he commands very well, almost 66% of the time for strikes. The 0-1 pitch. Bounces and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. (10-5) OBU. They've been in control since a 6-run first, erasing a 3-0 deficit. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Activity in the OBU bullpen. It may be Will Duncan. He was working earlier. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Reaches out and slaps it into right field for a base hit. So a good piece of hitting by Isaiah Lasad, who's starting to look more like his old self. Here this afternoon, Lasad came in hitting just .218, but he serves that pitch away into right field.
Now batting second baseman number 25, Jaden Schaefer.
3-hit game for Isaiah, and here is Jaden Schaefer. You can see right there, he just reaches out and dunks it into right field. 9th hit of the afternoon for Oklahoma Baptist. Schaefer is hitless, but with 2 walks. Takes upstairs with a fastball, 1 ball, no strikes. OBU on the road at Northwestern Friday night, Saturday afternoon. Emporia State back home as they return to MIAA play Friday, Saturday against Fort Hays. Throw over to first, and Lasad stumbles back in. OBU has stolen a couple of bases today. They've also been awarded some extra bases because of throw-in errors from Rocker Bomber. Fastball inside corner, 1 ball, 1 strike to left-handed hitting Jaden Schaefer. Schaefer making his 11th start, 12th game. Looking for his 16th hit, a team-high 441 batting average. In comes the pitch, downstairs. Jaden from Tecumseh, played at Murray State. Has a really good future here at the Division II level, just a sophomore. Now the pitch, upstairs. So Daniff trying to keep the Bison off the scoreboard for the 2nd consecutive inning. OBU has not scored since a went-out double by Parga. Made it 10-3 back in the 3rd. Another throw over to first. They've had base runners with 2 outs each of the last 2 innings. Pitch to Schaefer. Just misses with a fastball away, and that's ball 4. So Jordan draws a season-high 3rd walk. And here is Dan Pruitt.
Now batting first baseman number 28.
Jake Daniff has put himself into a real pickle here with 2 outs. Dan Pruitt is certainly due. He has struck out looking, struck out swinging. That after a first inning walk. Big Dan hitting .289 before the start of the afternoon. Here's Daniff's pitch. Right down the middle for a strike. 0-1 the count. Dan Pruitt, team leader in 2-out RBIs for the second straight season. Could add to that with a base hit here. 0-1 pitch. Nub foul, and it's no balls, 2 strikes. So they've primarily pitched him away today, and in doing so, they've had him a lot out on his front foot. (10-5) OBU, 2 on, 2 out. We are in the bottom of the 5th inning. Taneff's pitch. Swing and a miss. Went right after him with a fastball, elevated, and Pruitt could do nothing with it. So Dan with 3 strikeouts today, and OBU has failed the last 2 innings to come up with anything with 2 outs. No runs, a hit, 2 left. We go to the 6th. 10-5 Oklahoma Baptist here on the Bison Sports Network.
Okay, guys, we gotta make this quick. I got a 7 o'clock curtain call at the opera.
You know you could just order online.
No. A gentleman always does things the old-fashioned way.
All right, well, I just put your order in, so.
Well, it didn't tell you what I ordered.
I got you an ultimate patty melt with a side of loaded fries and a Dr. Pepper.
That is what I ordered.
Mm-hmm.
We spend way too much time together.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can order your food and fried pies online at boomerangdiner.com.
Will Duncan, who took the loss Sunday afternoon against Harding here at the ballpark, warming up here as he begins to go to work for the 5th time in relief. That's a good look at that Armilla stat pack that they use. He'll look down at his belt buckle, and the call will come in from the third base dugout with the pitch and the location from Chris Cox. Chandler Bloomer, Brendan Tauber, Caden Williams in that order against Will Duncan. Duncan ideally is a guy they would like to use at the back end of the bullpen for just an inning. However, in 3 of his prior 4 appearances, Will Duncan has thrown over an inning. 2 innings against Pittsburgh State and Arkansas Tech, an inning and a third, and taking the loss to Harding here in a 7-5 defeat Sunday afternoon. Here's Chandler Bloom, a double off Jordan Brewer back in the 2nd, and he struck it his last time up, and he bounces that one into right field for a leadoff single. So right now, Emporia State has all the momentum. And you hate to say it, it's starting to take on a little bit of a feel as to Sunday's game. When OBU had control of the contest, but Harding just kept battling and battling and battling. Fortunately for all the base runners the Hornets have had the last 2 innings, they have managed just a couple of runs. Here's Tauber, who has flied out, grounded to third. Will Duncan stretches and brings it home. One's downstairs, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Will, a native of Richardson, Texas. Last year, struck out 23 in 10 appearances. Here's Duncan's pitch. Swing and a miss. Looked like a slider, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Will Duncan, out of high school, originally signed with the University of Houston, transferred to OBU from Grayson County. He has been drafted back in 2018. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Another slider away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He was selected by the San Diego Padres back in the 29th round of the 2018 amateur draft. Here is the 1-2 pitch. Got him looking with a fastball on the outside corner. So Will Duncan, that's that lively arm that got him drafted, had him signed with Houston out of high school. Then saw him post an ERA of just over 2 at Grayson County. Caden Williams, the batter. Duncan's first pitch, down and in, 1 ball, no strikes. Last year, Will Duncan was really never completely healthy. He struck out a season-high 6 batters in 4 innings, March the 26th in an OBU win here against Arkansas Tech. 10 appearances covering 23 innings, or with 23 strikeouts covering 19 2/3 innings. There's a bullet past Dan Pruitt down the right field line. Heading for third is Bloomer, and now sliding in with the double is Caden Williams. And I'll say it again, this game's starting to feel a lot like Sunday's game.
Now batting between two, Jake Bavetsky.
Jake Bukovetsky, the batter. Fielder's choice, fly out, ground out. Leading 10-5, OBU will play the middle infield back. They would concede a run for an out. Duncan has recorded 1, a strikeout of Tauber. Bukovetsky awaits, left-hander. Brings it home, and the pitch in there for a strike. It's 0-1. Will Duncan has an electric arm, and he's perfect for not a lot of innings, but to slam the door. OBU's hoping he can get right here before the meat of the conference schedule begins in March. 0-1 pitch. Fly ball, center field. That will get the run home. It's carrying. Going back as Lasati leaps up and can't make the catch. 1 run is going to score. Now they're going to wave around Caden Williams. Heading for third is Bukovetsky. The throw in and the tag not in time. Trey Furry, you can see right there, not happy at all. He thought the tag had beaten Bukovetsky to the bag. So a 2-run triple for Jake Bukovetsky, and it is now a 3-run game at 10-7. So Will Duncan has given up 3 hits to the first 4 batters he's faced. Here with the 6th, and here is Palmer Hutchison. Here's another look at Lasad's effort in straightaway center field. Looked like he had a beat on the ball just over his glove. And there's a wild pitch to the backstop. It's actually a pass ball off Shields' glove, and it's now 10-8. There was a lot of life coming from that third base deck out earlier. Now all the noise coming from first base. One ball, no strikes. 3 runs are across here with the 6th. Maybe Duncan can settle down going back to the windup. He brings it home and gets a called strike on the inside corner. It's 1-1. Last year, Will Duncan, in those 10 appearances, limited opponents to a staff best .216 batted average. 2 balls and 1 strike. His batted average before this appearance had been good, just .208. But Emporia State has a home run shy of a cycle as a team of this inning. 3 balls and a strike. (10-8) Oklahoma Baptist to the 6th. There's the pitch. In there for a strike, 3-2. Will was not healthy a lot of last year. ISCC today, is he completely healthy? He said yes. Checks the belt, gets the sign, the payoff pitch. Fastball popped up. Shallow right, out goes Schaefer, in comes Self. He calls it, makes the catch. 2 gone. Well, that was a key at bat for Will Duncan because he was down 3-1 of the count. Battled back to full and induced the second out of the inning, a pop fly to right by Palmer Hutchison.
Now batting number 33, TJ Rockerbar.
If Hutchison reaches, the tying run comes to the plate. As it is, the tying run with 2 outs remains on deck for TJ Rockerbomber. First pitch is away, 1 ball, no strikes. So more anxious moments here at Bobby Cox Field at Ford Park. 1-0 pitch. Just misses with a fastball. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Garrett Kellogg Clark starting to throw in the bullpen. Troy Shields has gone out to the mound. Now we're ready to return to action. 2 balls, no strikes. Here's Duncan's pitch. In there. 2-1 the count. If Will gets through the 6th, we'll see Tex in the 7th. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Fouled back. Just got a piece of it. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bison need a win to level the record at 7-7, heading on a 2-stop, 4-game road trip starting Friday. 2-2 pitch. Got him looking to the outside corner. So down goes the cleanup hitter. There's a frustrated Will Duncan walking off the mound. He gives up 3 on 3 hits, and after 5.5, it's 10-8. OBU on the Bison Sports Network.
OBU fans, do you want the chance to support OBU student athletes from the convenience of your own mobile device? Text hashtag BAA at OBU to the number 52014 to support BAA student athletes. Donations are fully tax deductible, and every gift makes a difference in the OBU student athlete's life. Again, text hashtag BAA at OBU to the number 52014. For more information, log on to obubison.com.
Jake Daniff out to begin his second inning of work. We go to the bottom of the 6th, and we have a brand new ball game, 10-8. At one point it was 10-3 Oklahoma Baptist. Bison have been unable to come up with anything but 2 outs the last 2 innings. During that time, Emporia State has scored 4 straight. Daniff induced a couple of pop-ups, gave up a single and a walk before striking out Dan Pruitt in his first inning of work back in the 5th inning. So Keats Ballard, the assistant coach, former Bison standout, jockeying behind home plate on his way to the first base coach's box. Friday night, Saturday afternoon at Alva. A week from today at Pittsburgh State. Week and a half from now, it'll be Southeastern here at the ballpark for a 3-game conference series. 4, 5, and 6 due up for Oklahoma Baptist, starting with Alex Schroeder. Alex has been busy out of the cleanup spot. Popped out to first his last time, but reached and scored on an error back in the first. Hit a 2-run home run to the second. Here is Daniff's first pitch, and he turns it over for a strike. 0-1 the count. Schroeder's home run is the only home run today for OBU, and it is their 16th of the year. Pitch. Checked his swing, takes low, 1 ball, 1 strike. I know CC was disappointed there weren't more runs scored, and probably a couple of more that left the ballpark on Sunday afternoon with that wind. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and there's a bomb to left field, and God! Alex Schroeder just turned on Daniff's pitch and gets a run back. It's now 11-8 OBU. The ball just explodes off of Alex's bat.
Alex Schroeder, home run, number 2.
That's his second of the day, his 6th of the year. He has driven in 16 now. And he leads in both home runs and RBIs.
Right fielder, number 20.
10th hit for the Bison this afternoon. Here is Cade Self. They're stirring to the Hornets bullpen. Daniff's first pitch is upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. So that's the way to get some momentum back after you spotted a 3 spot in the top of the 6th. The pitch, good swing, and he fouled it back. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Daniff got by with one there. Self just did not time it. Had a good swing on it, the 1-1 pitch. Downstairs, 2 balls, 1 strike, so advantage to the Bison right fielder. (11-8) Oklahoma Baptist. The 2-1 pitch. That's driven into deep right field. Williams is going back at the 370 side. Gone! Home run, Cade Self. And it went just over the top of the 370-foot side, and OBU with back-to-back home runs. And they lead it again by 4, 12-8.
Cade Self.
Cade will get congratulations from Trey Furry. You'll also get it from Troy Shields. You see him jockeying back to the dugout. Cade Self with his second home run.
Now batting, third baseman number 7, Trey Furry.
Trey Furry, we told you, has 4 3-hit games this season, the fourth of which is today, after a fourth-inning triple. Now this makes you feel better because the game on Sunday, which had a lot of the same feel, you'll see another home run swing by Cade Self. This time, though, unlike Sunday, OBU's had an answer. First pitch is a strike, 0-1 the count. So Daniff really, in the first strike to Self, got by with one. He didn't get by on a 2-1 pitch. It's hit pretty well into center field, but playable. Tauber going back, reaches up and makes the catch, and there's one gone. So Trey Furry's perfect day is over, but he still makes a long, loud out here with the 6th. And here's Troy Shields.
Catcher number 33, Troy Shields.
Shields, the starting catcher today, an RBI ground out in the first, fly out to center of the third, struck out swinging to the 4th. 12-8 OBU. Jake Daniff's pitch. And there's a swing and a deep drive to left field and gone. Troy Shields. So Daniff right now has been serving up batting practice in his 6th inning, and OBU's bats have come alive. And on cue, we were just talking about that CC was a little disappointed there weren't more louder hits here on Sunday in the loss. They have 3 runs on 3 hits, and 2 of them have been monster blasts to left field. One by Schroeder, the other by the other catcher, Troy Shields.
Rafael Gutierrez.
So it's 13-8. As Rafael Gutierrez will bat. He's grounded out, flied out, sandwiched around a third-inning walk in which he scored. So Jake Daniff has made some mistakes, and OBU has made him pay. First pitch downstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. Bison led the world last year in home runs with over 100. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Big swing, no contact, looked like a slider, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. (13-8) Bison. In comes Daniff's pitch downstairs, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Incidentally, for Troy Shields, his 3rd home run in 7 games. He has driven home 7 this year. A strike, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. 7 different Oklahoma Baptist players have already homered this spring. And today is the final day of the month of March, or February. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Tapper down the line at third. Charging is Hutchison. He'll throw to first, and apparently they say it was a foul ball. Nope, it is out. Gutierrez thought that he hit it foul, and then it went into fair territory. The home plate umpire said no, so it is a 5-3 putout.
Now batting 16, shortstop Jose Parga.
You can see Gutierrez never left the batter's box. Here's Parkett, RBI double in the third. All 9 batters have reached at least once today. Bison have unleashed 12 hits on Emporia pitching. It was downstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. We're just over 2 hours, and the game is in the 6th inning. And that's not a bad pace considering there's been 21 runs and 20 hits. There's the previous play that Gutierrez thought was a foul ball. Hutchison never gave up on the play, and it was an easy 5-3 putout. We're out visiting with Jake Daniff now. Daniff trying to get through one more inning of work. This will be his final inning here in the 6th. Now the home plate umpire headed out to the mound. Hornets last year went 21-31. This year they were off to a 5-10 start. Emporia State boasts as good of baseball traditions as about anybody in the Central region. They've had some really good teams up there. 1 ball, no strikes. Daniff ready to deal. Parka back of the box, and that ball is popped up down the line and right. Long run for Williams. It's twisted into foul territory. It actually will be a fair ball catch by a step. So Parka flies out, and the inning is over. 3 runs, 3 home runs. No Lares and nobody left. We go to the 7th. It's 13-8. OBU on the Bison Sports Network.
Estate planning is a crucial step in protecting your family's future. With an estate plan, you can decide how to distribute your assets, make healthcare decisions, and support ministries after you pass away. It involves some pretty big decisions, but with guidance from Water's Edge, you can plan for your children's future, give to kingdom causes, and get expert help along the way. Build a solid foundation for your family. Start your estate plan today. Visit watersedgeservices.org.
Here at
Now on the mound for the Bison, number 26, Garrett Kellogg Clark.
Another look at that play that ended the OBU 6th, and it was by a step. Williams in fair territory making the catch to retire Jose Parka. We go to the 7th, and Tex Garrett Kellogg Clark is out there with a mound. Garrett has pitched pretty well in his previous appearances lead up to this one. 4 appearances, record 1-0, earned run average 4.91, 7 1/3 innings, 9 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 8 strikeouts, 3 walks. So Garrett Kellogg Clark will get the 5, 6, and 7 hole hitters in the Hornets lineup. The first of which is Quentin Carlberg, who's driven in 4 of their 8 runs today. Garrett was away from the team due to a wedding this past weekend. His last appearance, 2 innings against Pittsburgh State a week ago today, 1 walk and 3 strikeouts. Garrett has struck out at least 1 batter. In all 4 starts, he has struck out 3 batters in each of his last 2 appearances. He also has walked 1 batter in each of his last 3 trips to the mound. He gave up 3 earned runs against McKendree. OBU ended up winning that ball game back on February the 10th. His win came against Central Oklahoma. A walk, a strikeout, 1 hit, 1 inning. That was on February the 15th. So here's Carlberg. Let's see if Tex could get him out. Nobody else has been able to, and the first pitch is away, 1 ball, no strikes. A lot of crooked numbers up there with the scoreboard out in left center field. Here is the 1-0 pitch. Downstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. Bison with 6 of the first, 2 each of the second of the third, 3 in the 6th. Emporia with 3 of the first and 3 in the 6th. They had single tallies in the 4th and the 5th. Downstairs, 3 balls and no strikes. I would say at best so far it has been a mixed bag, would be the way to describe the pitching for OBU, as that one's low and it's ball 4. The Bison have yet to work, unless they could turn a double play here in the 7th, a 1-2-3 inning.
Now batting number 23.
Regardless, Emporia State has had a base runner in 7 straight innings. The good has come in battling with some tough positions. The bad has been too many hits, too many runs, way too many base runners. Slider for a strike, and Texas ahead 0-1. Rant struck out, popped out before singling his only hit in the 5th inning. Kellogg Clark stretches, brings it home with a nasty bite to it. It's cut on a miss for a strike, 0-2 the count. OBU will not be back at home until a week from this coming Friday. Now the throw over to first. That one hit him as it's going to get away from Pruitt. Error on Garrett Kellogg Clark, and Carlberg moves to second. Second error of the afternoon for OBU. Oh, and 2 to Rants. In comes the pitch. It hits the plate, and a wild pitch moves the runner to third. Give the Hornets a ton of credit. They have not gone away today, but OBU has certainly helped their cause. An error, a wild pitch. 9th run stands just 90 feet away, and a swing and a miss, and down goes Rants. That's the good stuff that Garrett possesses. Now let's see what he can do with Cade Johnson.
Now batting number 8, Case Johnson.
13-8, Oklahoma Baptist, top of the 7th inning. Here's the stretch and Kellogg Clark's first pitch. Did he go? They appeal to first. No, he did not. Ball 1. Case struck out of the 2nd, walked, scored in the 4th, and then flied out to left. And he's an example of OBU gifting Emporia some things. He walked, went to 2nd on a wild pitch, went to 3rd on a wild pitch from Peguero. Fly ball into left center field. Don't think he got enough of it. Lasad circles under. He'll make the catch. That'll be deep enough to tag Carlberg from 3rd as he sprints home. And it's now 13-9. So Case Johnson, an RBI sac fly.
Now batting number 3, Chandler Bloomer.
And now with 2 outs, here's Chandler Bloomer. See, he put a pretty good swing on that. Assad filling for the fence, didn't get quite deep enough before he circles under to make the catch. Bloomer, a left-hander against Kellogg Clark, and the first pitch is low, 1 ball, no strikes. So the run against Garrett here in the 7th inning is unearned. Now the 1-0 pitch. Late swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bloomer on that swing had about as much of a chance to hit that pitch as I did. He was about 6 days too late on that swing. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Downstairs, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Two and 1 the count. Bloomer a couple of hits out of the number 8 spot, so he's had a nice day. He taps that one back to the mound. Kellogg Clark has it over to first, and the inning is over. 1 run, it was unearned. No hits, 1 error, nobody left. To the bottom of the 7th we go. It's time to stretch in Shawnee. OBU 13, Emporia State 9 of the Bison Sports Network.
SCI Supply, you truly can purchase with purpose. Whether you're a university, a K-12 school, a local nonprofit, a church, or an individual, we have exactly what you're looking for. And 100% of the profit from your purchase stays here to fulfill the mission of providing vocational training, employment opportunities, and residential care to individuals with special need. So remember, how does your purchase make a purpose? By investing in South Central, the official office supply store of OBU Athletics.
Supper time.
Oh, you'll get dinner before 6:30.
Network. Lasad, Schaefer, Pruitt, Schroeder if anybody bats, anybody reaches. And it'll be another Emporia State pitcher. Will Hand has come in, number 30, from Olathe, Kansas. Will Hand, 6'1", 190 pounds, and a junior. 6th relief appearance, 1.29 earned run average, no record. 7 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 1 earned, 5 strikeouts, and a walk. So Will Hann, Hann, a fastball slider pitcher, occasionally mixes a changeup, very rarely a curveball. Trying to keep this thing a 4-run deficit. Hornets have scored against the OBU pitching staff in 4 consecutive innings. There's Will Hann as he goes through the warm-up tosses. Will Hann made 1 appearance in their conference series against Northeastern State over the weekend. Worked 1 clean inning. Didn't strike out a batter, didn't walk a batter. The last pitch today, midweek game, a week ago today against Northwestern. 2 innings, 1 hit, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Lasad to lead off. He singled, doubled, has a sac fly, and 1 infield hit. So he has a 3-hit game. Will Hand winds and brings home the pitch, and it's in there for a strike. I would have won the count. So with the exception of 3 home runs, including back-to-back shots by Schroeder himself in the 6th, Emporia State's bullpen has been pretty good here in the middle innings of this one. Fastball away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Will Hand commands the fastball well. Has thrown over 70% of his fastballs for strikes. There's a slider, and it's called a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He goes with the fastball about 82% of the time. Hands wind up in the pitch. Swing and a miss. Went right after him, and down goes Lasad. So his perfect afternoon is over, and here is Jaden Schaefer, who's still looking for his first hit. Only Jaden Schaefer, Dan Pruitt, and Rafael Gutierrez have not had base hits today. Now, all 9 have been on base at least once. Here's Will Hand's first pitch. In there for a strike, 0-1 the count. Slider to the left-handed hitting Jaden Schaefer. In comes the 1-0 pitch. Downstairs, good block that time by the catcher, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Shadows you could see on your screen. On a wide shot, you would see it really coming across the stadium, inching towards home plate, and certainly marching towards the third base foul line over the dugout. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fly ball into right field. That's trouble. Going back, Williams, and gone. A home run. Jaden Schaefer. That's OBU's 5th of the day, and it's now 14-9. Jaden Schaefer with RBI number 7. home run number 3. And OBU gets the run back from the Hornets in the top of the 7th.
Now batting first baseman.
Here's Dan Pruitt, walked to the first, scored, has struck out in the 2nd, 3rd, and 5th innings. You can see the field is somewhat pinstriped by the shadows of the pole and the backstop. Pop up on the infield. That'll carry out into shallow right. Out from second, Case Johnson can't make the play. And that's going to drop in for a double for Dan Pruitt. Case Johnson was fighting the sun, I think whatever wind there was, and he just had the ball push away from him out of his reach.
Hitter number 30, Alex Schroeder.
So Dan Pruitt, it may be a cheap way to get your first hit, but it still counts as a double. And Dan with his 2nd double of the year, and here is Alex Schroeder. Alex has homered twice, driven in 3. 14-9 Bison, and they're bidding for more. Here's Will Hand's pitch. Slider for a strike, 0-1 the count. Well, this is what we have become accustomed to in this part of the world in springs past. Ton of hits, ton of runs, and the Bison have exploded today. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Another slider, no balls, 2 strikes. Oh, and 2 the count. Pruitt leads from second, and the pitch downstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Emporia State coming to this ball game had allowed 19 home runs. OBU has a 4th of that total through 6 1/3. Swing and a miss. Slider got him. They'll throw down to first to complete the strikeout, and there's now 2 outs for Cade Self. Cade Self has doubled, driven in 2 in the first, hit the solo home run in the 6th inning. And 1 strike. Entering this afternoon, OBU season high in runs, 21. That was the day after Emporia State scored 17 off the Bison of the season opener. Liner caught on a diving stop by Rentz. Good play. He dove to his left and took away an RBI base hit from Cade Self. Bison get 1 on 2 hits. They leave 1 aboard. We move to the 8th in Shawnee, 14-9, Oklahoma Baptist. On the Bison Sports Network, here's another look at that catch.
Spending life wisely means taking small steps towards a life of love and impact. And we're here to inspire and empower you along the way. Spend life wisely. First United Bank.
I'm Noble McIntyre.
Back to the Bob on this Tuesday late afternoon or early evening. Garrett Kellogg Clark remains out there to begin the 2nd inning of work. Garrett gave up an unearned run after a walk, a throw in air, and a wild pitch allowed Carlberg to score. That reduced it to 13-9, but a solo home run by Jaden Schaefer. Another look at a terrific play by the former D1 shortstop Andrew Rantz. He keeps it a 5-run game, but that ball's a foot more to the right. It's an RBI base hit. Brendan Tauber will lead off.
Now batting number 10.
He's 0 for 3. Grounded to third, flied out to center, struck out swinging to the 6th. This will be his first trip up against Garrett Kellogg Clark. And the first pitch from the right-hander is inside, 1 ball, no strikes. 14-9. We are in the top of the 8th inning. 1-0 pitch. On the fist and popped up left side of the infield. Park is there with a call on the catch, and there's one gone. So Garrett came out of the hands, and Tauber popped it up. One up, one down, and here's the leadoff spot, Caden Williams. That's the first time since the 5th inning that OBU has been able to retire the leadoff hitter for Emporia State, and there's how they did, a little pop out to the infield. Garrett's first pitch is low, 1 ball, no strikes. Garrett Kellogg Clark, second-year OBU pitcher. Here's the pitch. Popped up and out of play, left field side, 1 ball, 1 strike. Garrett worked 3 innings, 5 appearances, struck out 2 batters in 2021 at the University of Nevada, Reno. It just misses away, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Last year, he made 17 appearances here at Oklahoma Baptist, tossed 31 innings with 37 strikeouts. Earned a save, had a record of 2 wins, 3 losses. Pitch is tapped foul, 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Garrett Kellogg Clark has a career record of 3 wins and 3 losses here on Bison Hill. His season high in strikeouts was 5 against Ouachita here exactly 1 year ago today on the 28th of February. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So February 28th of 2022, he struck out 5. February 28th of 2023, he's allowed 1 earned run, retired 4 in a row. Ground ball, second base, knocked down on the backhand by Schaefer. Then he stumbles, has to get back up so the runner can advance. And Schaefer looks like he's injured. You can see him without his glove, doubling over, kind of grabbing at his arm, then his wrist. He stumbled as he was ranging to his right with a backhand attempt. So here is Vukovetsky, who doubled into with a triple back in the 6th. Still waiting to see how they've scored that. There's a look at Jaden, seems to be okay now. First pitch is a ball, 1 ball, no strikes. Here's Kellogg Clark's 1-0 pitch. High, 2 balls and no strikes. And comes the 2-0 pitch. In there for a strike. It's 2-1. Still have not seen a ruling on that play. It allowed Caden Williams to reach with 1 out here in the 8th. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Popped up and out of play third base side. It's 2-2. They've scored that a hit. So Caden Williams has a multi-hit game. He's been aboard 3 times. How about turning one right here? Here's the 2-2 pitch. Down and in, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Garrett Kellogg Clark, 6'1", a senior, 215 out of Cypress, Texas. A look at that play by Jaden Schaefer. He went tumbling after the ball hit off the webbing of his glove. It just misses, and it's a 1-out walk. So runners aboard again. Here is Palmer Hutchison, the number 3 hitter.
Number 12, Palmer Hutchison.
Palmer Hutchison has walked. He is 0 of 3 with a run scored today. we have not seen Gabriel Pena yet in this ball game. That one is inside, 1 ball, no strikes. I point him out because he drove in 7 runs for the Hornets when they beat OBU 17-9 on opening day. In comes the pitch. Little fister out into shallow right with 1 foot of the grass. It's Pruitt. And there's 2 gone. So 2 outs, and the cleanup hitter Rocker Bomber coming up.
Rocker Bomber.
Rocker Bomber today is single, been hit by a pitch. First one is high with a fastball, 1 ball, no strikes. There's nobody in the bullpen right now for OBU. Pena, incidentally, has started in 14 of the 15 games for the Hornets, so they just may be giving him the day off. Just away, 2 balls, no strikes. And I'll tell you what, the strike zone has become very, very small here in the last couple of innings. Now the 2-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Went right after him, and it's 2-1. Kellogg Clark, this season against left-handers, has only faced 2 batters, 1 for 2. With 2 outs, Garrett has allowed 3 hits in 6 at-bats. Needs to finish the deal here in the 8th. The pitch hit off the end of the bat and a foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bison will have Furry, Shields, Gutierrez in the bottom of the 8th inning. Two and 2 the count. And in comes the pitch. That's through the wicket of Shields. It'll be a pass ball, and the runners advance to second and third. And now a base hit likely makes it a 3-run game again. Here is the 3-2 pitch, and he walks him. Garrett is the 6th OBU pitcher used in the afternoon. And here is the dangerous Carlberg. Carlberg already has driven in 4 runs today. He is homered to left back in the first. Swing and a miss. Tried to check, but clearly went around. He's behind 0-1. Quentin Carlberg walked against this pitcher back in the 7th inning to lead the inning off and came around to score 2 batters later on Case Johnson's RBI sac fly. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Good slider on the outside corner, 0-2. Stay with us on the postgame show. We will hear from Chris Cox. If the Bison hold on to this win, we'll hear from one of the players as well. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Little in tight, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Emporia State, 9 runs, 9 hits. Not bad for a team that had scored 69 in 15 games, and we're hitting .213. Here's Kellogg Clark's 1-2 pitch. Induces a pop-up, and it'll get out of play. Nolan Fiesel started by design, went 1 inning, so he will not be involved in the decision today. One and 2 the count. Let's see if Kellogg Clark can finish him off here. He brings it home. Swing and a miss. Down he goes, and Quentin Carlberg finally is retired. A hit, 2 walks, 3 left after 7.5. 14-9, Oklahoma Baptist. There's Tex mumbling to himself for the win of the dugout here with the Bison Network.
And I'm a trial lawyer. But that was not my original plan. I went to Oklahoma Baptist University, and law school wasn't even on my radar. And then one day it was. Why? Sometimes those with more power than others abuse that power. Instead of doing the right thing because it's the right thing, they do the wrong thing because it's profitable. An innocent victim is victimized again. They feel helpless and voiceless against the multi-billion-dollar insurance company. I saw it happen. I watched a family member suffer as the system left them feeling helpless and voiceless. I am not helpless, and I do have a voice. And for my clients, when the fight comes, the insurance company pulling strings in the shadows doesn't face a powerless victim. They face me. For way too long, insurance companies and major corporations have pushed around hardworking Oklahomans. McIntyre Law pushes back. If you need someone that tries cases and doesn't just settle, call McIntyre Law for a meeting at no cost to you. We are McIntyre Law, and we will fight for you.
Reminder, since 1981, South Central Industries has given individuals with developmental and intellectual disabilities opportunities to grow vocationally, residentially, and socially. Learn more about their mission as well as their services, including their office supply store and their food truck at southcentralindustriesinc.com. Todd Miller back here with you on the Bison Sports Network. OBU 3 outs away. They lead by 5. Can they build on that with the white-hot Trey Furry, who was finally retired on a fly-out to center back in the 6th. Furry, a couple of singles and a triple, his day's work. First pitch from Hand is downstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. Furry is facing Will Hand for the first time. His last at-bat came against the reliever, Jake Daniff. 2 balls now and no strikes. In a typical midweek game, a lot of arms being paraded to the mound, a lot of base runners. OBU looking to split their first 14 games. That's low, 3 balls, no strikes. Great view of the ballpark, great view of a early evening here in Shawnee on the final day of February. In comes the 3-0 pitch. He was taking all the way. Furry thought it was low, and it's 3-1. A lot of guys candidates for player of the game in this one. A lot of guys have had big days offensively. Was into the handle and popped out of play. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Trey has been slinging a hot bat really since the first game of the year against this Emporia State bunch. Will Hand gets the side, now brings it in, and had him reach a little tapper up the third baseline. Hutchison was playing deep. He bare hands, he throws to first, and he pulled Bloom off the bag. It's going to be an interesting scoring decision. That was a tough play for Hutchison because that ball was not hit very hard, and Palmer was playing pretty deep at third. They're going to charge him with an error on the throw. Troy Shields had his first hit of the day, a 2-run blast back in the 6th. He awaits Will Hand's first pitch. And did he check his swing on one inside? Yes, he did. No appeal. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the stretch, the 1-0 pitch. Ground ball, knocked down by Rance at short. Throws to first on the hop, and it gets away from the first baseman, Bloom. And Furry will go to second. I think it's an infield hit and an error.
That's the right 1B6, E6T.
Now batting left fielder, 23, Rafael Gutierrez.
An infield hit for Troy Shields. That's the 15th hit of the day for OBU. And another error on Emporia State. The error is on the throw. He would have beaten the throw. But because the runners advanced, that's why the error came into play. Is Rafael Gutierrez. First pitch is a strike, 0-1 the count. So 2 errors here in the inning, 5 of the afternoon for the Hornets. Pitch, grounded up the middle, base hit. That's going to score 1. Let's see what they do with Shields. They're going to wave him around. The throw is cut off on the mound, and it is now 16-9 Bison. So Gutierrez with his first base hit. Drives hit a pair. There's still nobody out against Will Hand here in the 8th inning. Jose Parka had the RBI double. First pitch is a strike to Parga, 0-1 the count. To the count, Jose Parka. Still nobody out here in the 8th inning. Here's the stretch. And Will Hand's pitch. Hard hit ground ball to third, knocked down by Hutchison. Stays with it and throws to first to get Jose. Runner over to second now with 1 out. And that's going to be it for Will Hand. So Emporia State will go to the bullpen here in the 8th inning. We'll tell you about the new hurler after this on the Bison Sports Network.
Okay, guys, we got to make this quick. I got a 7 o'clock curtain call at the opera.
You know you could just order online.
No. A gentleman always does things the old-fashioned way.
All right, well, I just put your order in, so.
Well, it didn't tell you what I ordered.
I got you an ultimate patty melt with a side of loaded fries and a Dr. Pepper.
That is what I ordered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We spend way too much time together.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can order your food and fried pies online at boomerangdiner.com.
There's your new Emporia State pitcher. Number 14 is Hayden Baumwart. Baumwart, 6 foot, 160-pound junior. Transfer from Barton County. He is a hometown product from Emporia. So he will face the top of the order with already 2 runs in. And Gutierrez, the runner at second base with 1 out. Now keep in mind, OBU needs just 3 runs to end this ball game. So if Lasad reaches, Schaefer would represent the game-winning run here in the 8th inning. Friday night, Saturday afternoon at Alva, Northwestern's Myers Stadium. OBU and the Rangers. Bison played Northwestern here last year, swept the Rangers. They did play at Myers Stadium in non-conference. They faced Washburn and they faced New Mexico Highlands. Went 2-1 in that event in Alva. Chris Cox and Ryan Bowen, very good friends. It is hard to get non-conference games right now for OBU. If this were an artificial infield, they would have all of them they want. But it's hard to get teams from the north to come down and play in the south without some guarantee the games are going to be played. Here's Isaiah Lasad has driven in a couple of runs today. Baumort's first pitch popped up right center field. Tauber is there, and he almost lost it in the sun. Hangs on, and Gutierrez will tag and walk into third. Now 2 outs for Jaden Schaefer. It was kind of a problem a couple of weeks ago when OBU went to Arkadelphia. Ouachita and Henderson co-host events, and Ouachita does not have turf. And OBU had a third game that weekend rained out against Newman because of wet grounds. One of the problems with Ouachita's field is it sets down in a valley, so it could contain water and a bunch of it very, very quickly. Strike for 0-1 the count to Jaden Schaefer. Both runs are unearned here in the 8th inning. It's 16-9 OBU. 0-1 pitch is a strike, no balls, 2 strikes. No balls, 2 strikes. Baumort's pitch way outside, 1-2 the count. Baumort checks the runner, now brings it home, and Schaefer stays alive, fouls it back on the netting. The only thing left is to polish off a win. Bison have looked at a lot of different arms today. You want to do that and win your midweek, and they have a chance to win back-to-back midweeks against MIAA opponents. There's a liner, and it's knocked down by the third baseman, Hutchison. He picks it up and throws to first, and the inning is over. 6 inches higher, that's in the left field for a base hit. Instead, it's a 5-3 ground out. And we go to the 9th. OBU needs 3 to win. 16-9 Bison to score on the Bison Sports Network.
OBU fans, do you want the chance to support OBU student athletes from the convenience of your own mobile device? Text hashtag BAA at OBU to the number 52014 to support BAA student athletes. Donations are fully tax deductible, and every gift makes a difference in the OBU student athlete's life. Again, text hashtag BAA at OBU to the number 52014. For more information, log on to obubison.com.
Estate planning is a crucial step in protecting your family's future. With an estate plan, you can decide how to distribute your assets, make healthcare decisions, and support ministries after you pass away. It involves some pretty big decisions, but with guidance from Water's Edge, you can plan for your children's future, give to kingdom causes, and get expert help along the way. Build a solid foundation for your family. Start your estate plan today. Visit watersedgeservices.org.
Top of the 9th inning, Andrew Rance, the shortstop, will lead off for Emporia State. 16-9 Oklahoma Baptist. The runs and hits have lined up. 16 on 16 hits for the Bison, 9 runs, 9 hits for Emporia State. The difference, 5 errors for the Hornets, 2 for the Bison. Here comes the pitch, and that one is a little tap or foul at the third base side. Garrett Kellogg-Clark in there to finish out this game. They do have an arm loosening in the bullpen behind Garrett should he reach an air pocket here in the 9th. The 0-1 pitch. Big swing, no contact, no balls, 2 strikes. Garrett has allowed one run. It was unearned back in the 7th. He walked 2, gave up a hit in the 6th. Hornets left the bases loaded that inning. It's the 3rd time they've left multiple base runners aboard today. Here's the 0-2 offering. Chased perhaps ball 1 and fouls it back to the netting. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Softball this weekend. Friday afternoon, Saturday afternoon against Northwestern at Bison Softball Park here in Shawnee on the Bison Sports Network. In comes Garrett's 1-2 pitch, and he gets him swinging. Shields will throw to first, and the strikeout is complete.
Now batting number 8, Case Johnson.
Case Johnson has walked, struck out, flied out, and has an RBI sac fly back in the 8th inning. That was the only run so far the Hornets have managed against Garrett Kellogg Clark. Here's the stretch. First pitch is softly lined into right field. That's down for a base hit. So Emporia in double digits in hits now.
Now batting number 3, James.
And here's Chandler Bloomer. Bloomer has 2 of their 10 hits today, a double in the 2nd, a single and a run scored in the 6th. OBU's yet to turn a double play. Why not do it here? And let's go to the house. Garrett's first pitch, good swing and a foul ball up the netting. Right back at us, 0-1 the count. Basketball coming up 2:45 Thursday, noon on Friday. Men against Southern Arkansas, women against Arkansas Tech at Fire Lake Arena in Shawnee. There's the 0-1 pitch. Downstairs, 1 ball, 1 strike. Bison men, the 7th seed, the women, the 5 seed. First time that these 2 programs have both been to the conference tournament in the same year. Here's the stretch. It comes the 1-1 pitch. Fly ball into left field. It may be trouble. It's sinking and it'll drop for a base hit. Over to cut it off is the left fielder Gutierrez, and they'll hold the runners to first and second. So Emporia State has a couple of hits here in the 9th inning, and neither one of them have been hit particularly well. The latter was hit better than the first, and it was well placed because Gutierrez was a little bit more towards left of center, so he had a longer run than usual. Here's Brendan Tauber, 0 for 2 against Garrett. The first pitch is ball 1. One ball, no strikes. In comes the pitch. In tight, 2 balls, no strikes. So OBU will finish this game without having a perfect 1-2-3 inning this afternoon. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Went right after him, and he swings and misses. It's 2-1. The shadows right now make it difficult. You can see that the pitcher is still in the sunlight. Ball comes into the shade out of his hands. The batter encased in shadows. In tight, 3 balls and 1 strike. It's a good look at it right there on your screen. Approaching 4 hours in this one. Here is the 3-1 pitch, and he walks him, so the bases are loaded. It's been a long afternoon, but again, there's been a lot of base runners, been a lot of hits, runs, walks, errors. And out comes Cody Painter, and you wonder if Texas thrown his last pitch. Keep in mind the first inning, which featured 9 runs, 3 for Emporia, 6 for OBU in over 45 minutes. Cody Painter usually does not make the pitching change. So they may be sticking with Kellogg Clark for at least one more batter, and you have the comfort of doing that when you're up by 7 runs and the other guy is reduced to its final 2 outs. Caden Williams has been a tough out at the leadoff spot. He's reached 3 times. Officially today, 2 for 5 with a double and a single. He's 1 for 1 against Tex. That was an 8th inning single. He was left back at third of that frame. First pitch to the left-hander is swung and a miss for a strike, and it's 0-1. The Hornets don't rally. They'll be 5-11, and these two teams will meet one more time. That will be on April the 18th up in Emporia. That'll be the rubber match of the series unless the Hornets rally. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fly ball, right center field. That ball is carried, and that ball is gone. A grand slam for Caden Williams. And it is now 16-13 Oklahoma Baptist. This is not the way to close out a game.
Now back number 22, Jake Bulotsky.
Bukovetsky to bat. He has tripled and drove in 2 runs of the 6th. His only hit, he walked against Tex in the 8th. He jumps to the first pitch and skies it, and out of play down the third base side for a strike. Emporia State, and there you see Williams swing. Ball just continued to carry as it exits the ballpark to right center field. Grand slam for Williams. In tight, 1 ball, 1 strike. Hornets have had multiple runs in 3 innings. They have scored in all but the 2nd, 3rd, and 8th innings. 2 balls and 1 strike. Kellogg Clark's pitch. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Emporia has to be left to wonder what they would have done if they'd been able to keep the Bison of the ballpark. LBU has 5 home runs, including 4 in the 6th and 7th innings combined. 2-2 pitch. Tried to get him to chase, did not, and the count goes full 3-2. So Kellogg Clark could go no further than right now where he is with Bukovetsky. Here's the payoff pitch. And he stays alive, fouls that one off the base of the backstop. Three and 2 the count. Kellogg Clark takes a deep breath and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Down goes Bukovetsky, and that's a huge strikeout for Tex. That is his 4th strikeout in 2 2/3. And now we'll have a pinch hitter as Noah Geeky will bat, a senior from Manitoba, Canada.
Now pinch hitting, number 32, Noah Geeky.
6'3", 195. So Geeky is their last hope here in the 9th. In the first pitch, fouled back for a strike, 0-1 the count. Geeky is their 3rd leading hitter at .259, covering 7 starts and 9 games this year. He has 7 hits, all singles, 4 RBIs. 0-1 pitch. Just misses, 1 ball, 1 strike. So the Hornets need 3 to extend the game, and they only are down to their final out. Time has been called. Garrett Kellogg Clark. And there may have been a warning issued to the OBU Ducats. You could see the home plate umpire writing something down. 1 ball, 1 strike to Geeky, hitting for Hutchison here in the 9th. Fastball away, 2 balls, 1 strike. We have now moved past the 4-hour mark. 2-1 pitch. Fly ball, center field, should do it. Lasad broke back, comes in, makes a running catch, and OBU holds on to the 9th inning to win this midweek encounter with MIAA foe Emporia State. 16-13, the final score. We'll be back to wrap it up, including post-game comments for the field after these messages on the Bison Sports Network. Game. Isaiah Lasad coming in, making a running catch at OBU, has closed out Emporia State today. They win it by a final count of 16-13, and a lot of big bats in the lineup today, none of which was bigger than Alex Schroeder. 2 home runs, 3 RBI game. Alex is standing by with Clayton Kaufman.
Thanks, Todd. Joined now by junior catcher Alex Schroeder, who comes up with a couple of hits, both home runs today. And, man, we needed all the run support we could get, Alex. We got, I think, 4 team home runs today. You get 2 of them. Just talk about the team's performance today. We came out, the offense was cranking.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody produced up and down the lineup. We've been working. We knew that they beat us early in the year, so we kind of had a little bit of a fire under our butt. But, no, it was good to come out. Bats came out hot. Backed up our pitchers. Everything was rolling. It was nice.
Alex, I saw you working out. You had that early struggle in the season, but you've come back 4 home runs the last 5 games. And what's been the progression for you? It always seems like big hitters, it takes maybe a little bit extra time. What's been the process like for you the last few weeks to get in gear?
Trusting myself, and the teammates trusted me. Also, the coaches put in the extra work, and them still believing in me, even though when they know I'm struggling, I know I'm struggling. But it's the mindset is the big thing. Your mind gets in the way sometimes, but you just got to believe in yourself. Teammates believe in you, coaches believe in you. Everything goes well, so it's going nice.
Alex, we're going to go back on the road at Northwestern up in Alva this coming weekend. We were on the road before at Tech. What can this team learn from that series going back on the road this weekend at Northwestern?
It's in the past. You just got to look in the future, keep the train rolling. Everything will be good. We're a good team. We're a good club. Just got to trust ourselves, and we'll all be good.
Todd, we're going to throw it back up to you as I track down Chris Cox. He's talking with Shawnee News Star reporter Brian Johnson. We'll be back right in a second, folks. Stay with us here on the Bison Sports Network.
So they switched to
Park of the campus of Oklahoma Baptist University. OBU wins it today 16-13. Back downstairs to Clayton and Chris Cox.
Thanks, Todd. Back here with CC. All right, Coach. Offense comes up season high, 16 hits, 16 runs. The long ball was there today. Obviously, Alex got a couple. This team really produced on the offensive end. What'd you see?
Yeah, it's good to see that side of it get going. There's no question we've kind of gotten off to a slow start offensively, and it's kind of like we talked about, guys that have been accomplished, and it's good to see some guys get going, and we're going to need all those guys. One through about 12 guys that we got that can produce offensively, and we're going to need all of them moving forward if we're going to be successful.
Jaden Schaefer also gets a home run. Can you describe what Jaden has meant to this team offensively through these first 14 games of action? He's been really good.
He has been. He doesn't give anything away at the plate. Every AB is a quality AB. He doesn't dictate away from what he does. He doesn't compromise. He doesn't let the pitchers dictate. Really takes control of the AB and puts together some of the best ABs we've had so far this year, for sure.
He always seems to be steady in that box to me. Just a cool, calm, and collected customer. Troy Shields adds a home run as well, but overall today, though, 16 runs on 16 hits. How do we keep improving? I told Alex just before we began speaking with you, the work has been put in. We saw a big day today.
Yeah, it's just us adjusting a little bit to how people are pitching us. Some of those guys coming back, those returners, obviously have been through the league and also the midweek stuff without a conference stuff, and so there's a little bit of book on them. So we got to make adjustments as hitters moving forward to those adjustments that are made on them by teams pitching wise.
Final thought: we're going up to Northwestern this weekend. Keys to success.
All three phases. Starts on the mound. There's no doubt, and those guys this past weekend gave us good quality starts. All three of them. On the mound and defensively, we got to go up there and play catch, not give them anything extra, and like I said, trying to keep this thing moving in the right direction offensively.
Thanks, Coach. Take care.
Thank you.
Todd, back up to you.
Clayton Kaufman visiting with the head coach of Oklahoma Baptist, Chris Cox. Chris, in his fourth season, records win number 76. He does it behind a 16-hit attack, and the Bison win it today 16-13. 16 runs, 16 hits, 2 errors for the Bison, 13 runs, 12 hits, 5 errors for Emporia State. The winner is Jordan Brewer, the second pitcher used today by the Bison. The loser is Cade Barton. Emporia State, since a 2-1 start, now 3-10 of their last 13. They dipped to 5-11 of the season. Oklahoma Baptist back to 500 at 7-7 behind the 76th victory of Chris Cox as the head coach. Our next broadcast coming up this weekend next door at Bison Softball Park. We'll have softball for you against Northwestern Oklahoma State. Single game on Friday, doubleheader on Saturday at noon. All of that right here on the Bison Sports Network. For our crew that's made it possible today, final score, final time, Bison win it 16-13. I'm Todd Miller from Shawnee. So long, everybody.